Good morning and welcome to the PS4 Open Series monthly finals for BBTAG on the EU side. I'm happy to see y'all. I am Raph, and this month I am joined with the amazing Jalen. How are you doing, Jalen?
I am doing fantastically. I'm so happy to be here. This is my first PS4 Open Series. I've watched them all. I am more than thrilled to be casting with you all today. I've seen some of the European finals, and we're in for a treat, and I can't wait to get into this month's action.
Oh, it's going to be nothing short of incredible if we gauge about how amazing last month was, especially with the grand finals that we saw in the month of February, which was just amazing action between Mr. Rowanism and JajukakujaJ, who, went at it in just an incredible set with the Hildas on deck, but Mr. Rowanism showing why he's the top dog of 2021.
Yeah, it was really exciting to get to see some of this Hilda mirror match and just the outplays on both sides. It really went down to the wire, and we're catching up with some of this last month replay now, where you can see some of that exciting action that we did get to watch. But Mr. Rowanism really pulling through on that one.
Oh yeah, he's been on a tear throughout the entire year so far, taking each tournament in a strong fashion. And again, they are here this month, so we'll see if they can make it, a three-peat. Mr. Rowanism can just keep up that momentum, but, players like Jaju are going to be there to stop him.
Right, so speaking of previous champions, this past March, Cax 444 on an absolute tear, winning 3 of the 4 weeks. Dyni Crippler did win week 3, but Cax really coming out on top this month. And then, of course, our February finalist was Mr. Rowanism.
Yep, and you see the bracket there. Top seed Cax, well deserved. But his opponent in that first match is the return of the king back to reclaim their throne. King Rasta, who was absent throughout this year so far, has come right back here in March. And then through the rest, we're going to see a run back of last month's grand finals as Mr. Rowanism and JajukakujaJ are going to be going at it. And continuing on, Lollare versus Dutchy, and then RetroMonkey, Sage, and Dyni Crippler to round it out. So we have an amazing top 8 bracket there.
Yeah, I'm really actually excited to see this Mr. Rowanism Jaju run back, considering that it was a final and now it's just an upper level bracket match. Like, first thing, this is going to be an explosive start to the series.
No, any of these matches could definitely be a grand finals. And, going for these prizes too, it makes sense. First place, $400, second place, $300, third place, $200, fourth place, $100. So there's a lot at stake, and just making top 4 means a lot and just gives them a little bit extra in their pocket.
Right, and if you want to go ahead and sign up for these events, go ahead and you can follow the link that is located at the bottom of the screen. Just go ahead, join the fight, compete.playstation.com, sign up. They happen every week, and they're a ton of fun. I was telling Raph earlier, I've signed up for these. I've played in them. They're really well run, and they're a blast. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Yeah, and if other games as well, between Mortal Kombat and Uniclear, there's a lot of weekly tournaments to get into and try to qualify for those finals. So if you want to be seen on the stream in a monthly finals, definitely try it out and do your best.
Yeah, I mean, with doing your best, you could end up here, you could be fighting for it, and in addition to those cash prizes, you also get really cool icons when you play, depending on how far you play through on the weekly tournaments.
Yeah, a lot of sweet deals there. Speaking of sweet, our first match of today, right, is going to be Cax and King Rasta. Last year, I would say this is a grand finals already. It's like the tournament's already over. No, this is going to be our first match between these two titans, especially King Rasta, who I mentioned before, is finally back here trying to reclaim the throne. And you see there that Yosuke Hyde is on deck.
There's going to be so much action all over the screen. We're going to be seeing parts of the stage we've never seen before with this kind of a team. King Rasta, as we mentioned, only played a little bit this past month, but with an 82% win rate in their 11 matches, looking coming in here pretty strong.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's funny too, because like they just entered one weekly tournament, qualified for the monthly finals, and said, "I'm back. I'll see you at the end of March." So I'm just curious if anyone can stop them after that small break. And if anyone could do it, it's Cax with the Aegis Elizabeth. You know, Cax is our top seed because they just entered every week, grinding it out, getting those big wins every week to make it here. And I would love to see how well they can do.
Yeah, and look at the difference in the matches. So we highlighted that Rasta only had 11 matches they played. Cax has played 41 matches over the course of March, and with an impressive 35 wins, I think he's ready to go, and he's ready to take out the former king. But we'll see what the king has in store for him.
Oh no, yeah, that's gonna be just sick. You know, I'm excited to see if there's any surprises, right? It's been a couple of months now that King Rasta has a bit on the forefront. Any surprises that'll be, you know, popping up from them is going to be really cool. But, you know, Cax is just a treat to watch. So either way, how this match is going to go, I'm excited because that's going to set the pace for this entire, you know, EU monthly finals.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the winner of this match goes on to face what could be a run back from last month's finals. I mean, this is going to be nuts. And we've seen some Hyde Yosuke teams before. We know what that can bring. It's going to be a lot of mix-up potential and things like that. But with Elizabeth Aegis, oh man, I'm excited to see what this is going to be. And we're going to go ahead and get into that match now. So kicking off Europe's March finals for the PS4 Open Series is going to be Cax and King Rasta.
All right, so we are not deviating from what we expect. The Hyde Yosuke versus the Aegis Elizabeth. And the matchup is going to be really interesting because Aegis is a character that controls the air extremely well. She has really good grounded normals that shoot projectiles that reach that high, as well as a lot of high mobility. So Yosuke being, you know, as strong as he is with his mobility, has to be careful because Aegis can cover that space. But once this team gets in, it can mix up very hard. So we're going to see how well Cax can get in. And just like that, the slide with the Hyde assist already making Cax bleed.
That was an incredibly explosive opener. Look at the damage that Elizabeth's already taken, and Rasta just not letting Elizabeth get the chance to switch out. Oh, right there was a really nice active switch into the Aegis, and now it's Cax's turn in the corner with these really sick combos.
Yeah, they both have the set play on deck, right? You saw early King Rasta getting some good mix-ups, but now Cax with this corner pressure, Aegis overall having the ability to dash cancel all of her normals, be able to move in just like that. But now, unfortunately, bringing back the Elizabeth, she takes damage, she gets knocked out. Despite Cax bringing that back, the unfortunate switch out really cost them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been highlighted in cross-tag before, but there's always an advantage of having two characters, no matter how much health they have, because it's a two-character game. And King Rasta just really spending all this meter to get as much damage as they can on the Aegis. It was an impressive 10.2k, but now it's Cax's turn.
Yeah, taking advantage of situations, gonna combo into the Resonance. I like seeing that, building up a little bit of bar, not gonna get enough to kill, but one more hit, anything will take down this Hyde. But nice switch out, King Rasta goes between the Yosuke.
Yeah, that was a really nice safe switch. The screen distance was enough that I think King Rasta felt really safe doing that. And Hyde has a significant amount of red health to regain here. Nice assist into the active switch. I think he feels really confident with this corner combo and knows that he can get the damage. Doesn't have enough meter to super and goes ahead and switches out Yosuke, but unfortunately it wasn't really safe. And depending on this, oh no, he's extra dead.
That was such a good call out. I love that. King Rasta tried to switch out of the Hyde, but paid the price, and there's the mix-up from Aegis. Cax bringing it back. Nice comeback to start it out.
Okay, that was really impressive work because that was, honestly, that was all Aegis. Elizabeth barely got the chance to play in that, and it was a one character into two character team and pretty definitive decision making.
I mean, honestly, if I look at the cast, I feel like Aegis is definitely contender for one of the best solo characters, just because she has a strong mix on her own. Again, talking about the Orgia gauge that's on the bottom there, being able to dash cancel those normals and create, you know, double or triple overheads, can crack people open, especially if they don't have any meter for push block. So it's just caught kind of King Rasta in that position, you know, made it so that had to take the mix, and Cax is bringing it back, going into game 2 now.
Right, and another thing, like, push blocking a persona doesn't push block the character, and that's another thing you have to really be aware of when you're playing against these persona characters.
Yeah, very tricky stuff. I mean, Aegis might not use persona as much as like Elizabeth will, but it's still something you gotta be wary of. Oh, EX neutral skip comes through, but nice, the assist punishes it out. Now Cax with a small lead here.
Yeah, ooh, catches Hyde out of the pogo and is getting a nice happy birthday combo. This is actually pretty devastating early on in the match.
Oh, cancels right into super, it's gonna take out Hyde. The air super doing so much damage, and now it's all down to Yosuke by himself with less than half life.
Yeah, I mean, Yosuke can do a lot of damage, and we already saw the strength of Cax's Aegis earlier, but that doesn't matter. You got supered, you're dead. That was such a fast match.
That's the speed of Cax, and you saw it there. The wake-up super was backed by the 6P from Elizabeth, basically making that super safe. Because the distance it reaches, the recovery's not too long, but having that giant beam behind it was just great. And, it looked like, King Rasta just kind of jumps into it. And because of that, looks like up 2 is Cax, showing that they are the first seed for a reason. They won these last, 3 of the 4 weeks, and they are looking as crispy, if not crispier than ever.
Yeah, the first game there were a couple of mistakes, but I felt like Cax put them in the mental bank, cashed out, figured out what they did, and did a phenomenal second game. So Cax already up 2 in this best of 5, so first to 3, and taking Yosuke for a ride in the library here.
Yep, take a look, it's in a book. Here's this mix-up, goes low, forces out the burst, and now nice punish on there. Cax running on full cylinders, and here comes the Aegis setup. Oh, going into Mind Charge? It's gonna give her all this meter, jumps out of the setup into the command grab. It's gonna actually get rid of Elizabeth. Looks like Cax was a little greedy, a little tricky, but King Rasta was ready.
Yeah, I liked that King Rasta just neutral jumped that, the command grab there, just so missed all the damage and then had advantage coming back down to the ground.
Yeah, big punish. And the thing about Mind Charge is it makes Elizabeth sacrifice her life. So that just really put Cax in a terrible position here. He still has the Aegis, and he saw it come back before, but King Rasta cashing out this damage and wasting resonance time.
Yeah, wasted a ton of resonance. It was about 4 seconds of that resonance meter, and now Cax doesn't have a lot of health, does have 4 bars of meter, and we've seen them make the comeback before, but did they have the... Okay, this is a huge opportunity with that whiff DP.
That was a big chance that he took, but there you go. King Rasta saw that the switch in as he came in. Incoming was blocked and just pressed afterwards, so it worked out really, really well, catching Cax from trying to back up, and now King Rasta on the board.
Yeah, a lot of patience in that match from King Rasta, waiting for Cax to really just kind of slip up and make a mistake, and capitalized on those little mistakes. I feel like, from what I'm seeing, Cax wants to play very quickly and gets an advantage quickly and just maintains the momentum throughout. And when King Rasta slowed it down and took it at their own pace, it was a totally different match.
Yeah, big time. I mean, it's all about momentum, right? And if you can stop Cax's momentum, you have a good chance at that. King Rasta's definitely going to be the kind of guy to do it. But that, again, this team of his, just high mobility, but amazing assist package that Hyde brings. That makes it very hard to approach, but nice anti-air. The 2B connects. Cax gets first blood.
Yeah, a lot of... Now, I was saying before that Cax was playing very quickly, but spent the whole first few seconds just blocking all of the incoming from Rasta. And now, with all of this... that was a really nice switch. I thought he was going to be able to take out Yosuke, but didn't.
Yeah, I was really lucky there. I mean, Yosuke tied for some of the lowest health in the game, so definitely can't take a lot of punishment. But
no, definitely not.
At least, yeah, this is really good lead now for Cax. King Rasta with a lot of bars, though, so if he does get a significant hit, he can cash out a lot. But it's like, how do you approach, right? Yosuke assists aren't going to be that strong and neutral, especially compared to like Elizabeth assists. Hyde gets tagged.
Yeah, King Rasta is definitely at a life disadvantage here, and Cax even has a full health Elizabeth, who's been fantastic in the assist calls. Oh, God, that just hurts to look at. And now, just like that, King Rasta down to solo hide.
Oh, the 2B connects. Not enough to get the solo hide. It's getting some life back here. Oh, counters the projectile. Doesn't even want to get any chip. Really nice awareness from Cax, who just needs one hit to do this.
Yeah. Oh, there was a connection in the corner from the hide, but does manage to pick the combo back up and kills Elizabeth. So now solo against solo. Doesn't even give Cax the opportunity to resonance. Look at these pogos, so crisp.
Oh man, dropped the little EX Rekka there, but now it's down to just pixels each. Resonance is still on deck. It's gonna pop at Cax with a last chance here. Nice stage up. 2B connects, not a counter hit. One more hit. Look at that chip on block. That, it's doing it and catches the backdash.
Then stay down.
Oh, Cax was playing so carefully and then just made that's just the tiniest mistake. No, and he chipped out.
One bad backdash, getting hit by the orbiter, and that was King Rasta needed that. Made a big reversal. We saw that first game, Cax did it with the solo Aegis. He saw solo hide, bringing it back. And that's the power of the ability that his special, where he just chips you out with his sword normals. The amount of life you lose from just blocking hide is actually incredible, and especially during resonance. But even there, you saw how that played a huge factor in that comeback.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like just 2 minutes ago, Cax was up 2-0, and King Rasta making the reverse sweep here, showing why we highlighted him as the king of last year's PS4 Open Series.
Hail to the king, baby. Already to a big start in his reclamation of the throne. Aegis lost a lot of life, now she's going to be put in the Yosuke blender.
Yeah, and Rasta hasn't even taken a hit here, and oh my god, she lived?
With
outrageous.
Pixels, had the reversal, barely got out of there, but how can she pull Aegis out? Oh, caught with the hide assist, and now it's all down to solo Elizabeth, who's already getting tagged.
Yeah, this is incredible. King Rasta just taking over the pace of this game. The mix-ups that he's got, look at this nice cross-combo sandwich. Active switching between the characters frequently to, put Cax on the back foot. And Elizabeth is just jumping around trying to get something with this resonance that only has 2 seconds left on it.
Ooh, at least found a reversal. That's a little something. It's only red life. Oh, nice reversal on the back of King Rasta, but tech into buttons. Cax finding a little bit of damage here, but it's gonna need a lot to bring this back.
Look at Rasta just jumping in the corner, avoiding the persona. Jumps right in the middle. That could have been an opportunity, but didn't take it. Oh, man. The parry DP, and then the command grab DP. This is going crazy.
Oh, just gonna beat out the super. You saw Cax try to get a little something, but King Rasta giving Cax a taste of his own medicine with reversal double super. And King Rasta reverse 3-0 to advance over Cax in our first set of the day. If I didn't know any better, that was grand finals. That was just insane.
I mean, you said before we got into this, when we were going over the bracket earlier, that, oh yeah, this will set the pace and it'll set the, the mood for the entire series. So every match is going to be a grand finals caliber now. That's what I'm getting the feeling of, especially since the next one we're seeing is a run back of last month's grand finals. But before we get into that, let's check out some of the highlights that we just got to see in that incredible reverse 3-0, or 3-2.
You see, Cax had such a great start, and on the back of a great comeback in the first game, makes a statement and just has the momentum going into everything. Their Aegis, the setups were looking really nice. Their defense, honestly, was pretty spot on. Obviously, in BBTAG, it's very hard to be consistent with defense, so you get caught with little things, and you get under pressure. It's very difficult to get out, but I think it was all on the back of that. Game 3, where Cax got a little feisty and tried to go for that setup with Elizabeth, and then dropped it all on there, and then just King Rasta just never let go of the pedals.
No, definitely not. I mean, I feel like once King Rasta got their feet under them, it was just full pedal to the floor from there on out. I mean, and look at this. Look at the gameplay here. just so careful, and the spacing was so careful, and the choice of moves was so calculated.
Oh, for sure. Great decision making there. And you kind of saw this all. Cax was just taking these huge risks, trying to make something count to bring it back, but King Rasta just one step ahead the entire way through. So now they're sitting pretty in the second round of the upper bracket, and we will see who they face as our next match to get to there. Mr. Rowanism and JajukakujaJ.
Yeah, just mentioned that this was last month's finals, so getting to see the run back here is going to be nothing short of fantastic. But then you have to think about both of those players are thinking about what they're going to face if they get into the next part of the bracket, because I know that they're probably watching and thinking and planning, and man, this is going to be exciting. So yeah, up next, Mr. Rowanism and Jaju. So let's check out some player profiles. Jaju from France, playing that Yuzuriha Hilda. That hurts my soul just looking at that team.
This guy loves to keep his full screen distance, but he also likes that great mix that can be set up. You know, Hilda, a staple of EU play, 81 matches. So Jaju just loves BBTAG. You see Jaju all the time, month after month, just grinding the game out and doing really well. Made it to the grand finals constantly. Can never seal the deal, and I hope to see some success for them. But sticking to their guns, playing this team, and Hilda is just an amazing character with just a great assist package. Has like solid mobility for what she does, but just can be very frustrating to play against if your team doesn't have anything to go against her. But speaking of being able to go against her, Mr. Rowanism with the Seth Hilda. Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, so as we had talked about earlier, this is a Hilda matchup, so we're going to get to mirror match, so we're going to get to see the two of them fight it out with those Hildas. Mr. Rowanism also has an impressive 72 matches that they've played with a very, very impressive 88% win rate. Looking pretty strong coming into this.
That's right. You have to watch out. That's why he's the last 2 months champ. He has just consistently done so well in the EU brackets and just been, stellar. Considering like last year, I say it like I said every month, not like the strongest showing. Can make it to the top 8, but can never seal the deal because King Rasta was around. But then Mr. Rowanism just something clicked, started exploding and doing amazing, and we're gonna see if they can keep that up. But I know if anyone wants to stop him, it's JajukakujaJ.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And they're both, I like this, they're both starting with Hilda as the assist and letting the Yuzu and the Seth battle it out first. So Jaju getting the first significant hit here with the Yuzuriha. A very mixy character. You have to really be careful and follow where she is on screen, because if you're not careful, she's not where you think she is. Has an impressive range as well, and is playing that to their advantage by keeping Seth on the opposite side of the screen as much as possible.
Yeah, it can be very difficult though, because as soon as Seth gets some bar and has his 9-frame EX that dashes across the screen, backed up by Hilda's amazing assists, you already see now Jaju on the backsplit is taking a lot of damage here.
And now we're getting that Hilda matchup that I was really excited about and finally get to see it. It's a very differently paced matchup though. They were both playing much more patiently there. Jaju making the decision to go ahead and bring Yuzu back in, and that's working really well for them right now.
Yeah,
this is a crazy combo.
Super solid damage. That jump, see, just jumping over Hilda, right? There's a little bit of dead zones if you can call them out, and there's a lot of recovery on the Hilda normal if she isn't being careful. So you saw like Jaju took advantage of that, taking a lot of damage here, and it's unburstable. As long as he keeps up the solo damage, able to use Hilda to punish a bad burst, but now Mr. Rowanism fights it out.
Yeah, look at all of this damage from Hilda and just keeping Yuzu at a range where she couldn't really get in at all. And Jaju switches in their own Hilda, to keep Yuzu safe, but just taking a ton of damage here. Oh, that DP is just so much damage and covers an enormous amount of the screen.
Yeah, you saw that DP right to the EX overhead, the meteor coming down, have to watch out, but nice super, make it so Jaju can't burst. First character finally going down, hit rampage time, as this match is starting to draw out.
Yeah, this is the first rampage time we've seen, and very differently paced than the previous matches we saw. I mean, yeah, different players, but holy moly, 65 in-game seconds left, that was a pretty decently long match and very close.
Oh yeah, no, super duper close. But nice for Mr. Rowanism. Once he got the momentum and down to the last character, you know, Hilda by herself. You know, she still has some stuff going on, but at the same time it's a little rough. So I just liked, you know, breaking down and just keeping that pressure going. Very good very adept at forcing situations and turning it on when the opportunity arises. And this is a team you don't want on you. Because like Jaju excels at that full range game and then setting up their own mix of momentum, but defensively, team's a little weak.
Agreed. Yeah, the defensive options from Jaju's team are certainly a lot more limited than on Mr. Rowanism's. But the thing is, if Mr. Rowanism's team gets caught, you know, they're made of paper. They just kind of crumple.
Exactly. You know, Seth, like Yosuke earlier, tied for lowest health in the game, so Dippin can bleed. But, you know, getting a good hit on a character like Seth, not easy. What a mix-up in the CC. But Jaju, or Mr. Rowanism, tried to jump out with a jump C and get out of there.
Oh, what a catch.
Okay, yeah, there's the reversal's gonna get punished and be mad damage. And this might be the end of Yuzu.
Do you think Rowanism baited that? Because it just felt kind of risky.
Yeah, I mean, Yuzu's reversal is not very fast. They kind of just blocked it out, took advantage of it, and she was gone. With like over half life, just erased. And that's just the strength of a non-burstable punish.
Yeah, Mr. Rowanism, I mean, he still has that two-character advantage, and unfortunately Seth is caught, but did avoid the rest of that. Oh, what a block there. Thought Jaju was a little bit in more trouble.
I like the active switch. That was kind of like a thing maybe bait out the reversal. Jaju getting some damage here, fighting some stuff with the Hilda, trying to cash out. But the thing is, Jaju's had a meter. He's gonna have to either pop resonance to bulk some up, or rely on just like a non-metered combo.
Which is kind of scary when you're sitting in this situation. Mr. Rowanism is putting a lot of pressure on Jaju right now and just gets that overhead command grab to death.
That was so smart because of what happened there. Jaju hit resonance, and when you hit resonance, it focuses on the character popping it. The blue glow, and it kind of zooms in on that. But before the resonance happened, he jumped into the air with Seth, started to do the unblockable dive. Active switched over to their Hilda. You couldn't see the Seth anymore because the screen was all on Jaju's character, and then Seth just comes down from the sky, snipes that Hilda, and now Mr. Rowanism up 2-0. Wow, that was such a smart play on the resonance.
Yeah, and that's the danger of Seth. I mean, especially in that resonance situation, which was such good awareness on Rowanism's part. But Seth has all of these off-screen setups, and if you forget something that he's put there, you're in serious trouble. However, Mr. Rowanism in serious trouble if he hadn't gotten that Seth out of there when they did.
Yeah, we blinked just talking about that last match, and already Seth basically at low health. But here comes Hilda for Mr. Rowanism. Gonna try to tie up a little bit of the damage here, maybe make a setup. There's the sandwich. CC, but immediate burst.
Yeah, just takes that whole sandwich situation out of the equation. And now Jaju just really taking control with the Hilda, trying to get some good Yuzu assists, sitting at a significant health advantage here. Go ahead.
No, you're good. My bad.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, now Seth is out of the picture completely, and the low health Hilda, that's really punishable.
What a reversal. Knew the gap. Plays Hilda, so those little spots. Caught Rowanism pressing a button where they shouldn't. Nice reversal super, and immediately like that, in an even faster round than what Seth could do, Jaju is on the board.
Yeah, it's always, the situation when you're commentating, at least for me, it might be this way for you, when you see somebody up 2-0, you're like, God, I really hope the other player puts someone on the board, because you never want to see somebody go 3-0. And Jaju's not going to let that happen. Especially being a Hilda player, they know where the gaps in the strings are, where the gaps in the moves are, and Hilda has some really punishable things, and Jaju was just able to take advantage of that in that particular round.
Yeah, And, getting that big damage on Seth, taking him out early, pays dividends. You get rid of, like, one of the strongest characters and really just, breaking the team down. Just solo Hilda is really nice, especially because Jaju's team has such a good, full screen ability. And I think Yuzu is very strong against Hilda by herself, so. Oh, solo punish on the burst into a mix-up. Great awareness from Jaju. He's going to go into full combo. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so good of them to be aware of that situation and capitalize on it. But now, geez, just like that, Mr. Rowanism taking all the damage, but then it just goes back and forth. This is like a tennis match. You gotta really watch which side you're on.
Oh, good awareness using the auto combo to send it off. And again, here we are. It's just Solo Hilda versus Yuzu. So the thing about Yuzu, when she's in her stance right there, she will automatically dodge any projectiles. You throw a projectile at her, she just sidesteps it. So it's extremely hard to open her up with a character like Hilda, who most of her normals and all of her specials are all projectiles.
Yeah, gosh, this whole resonance for Rowanism just didn't really get a chance to do anything. Now at least it gets a little bit of a hit in, but doesn't have that bonus from the resonance. So, yeah, that was a smart crash to go ahead and put Yuzu in. Yuzu has a lot more health, but with two characters and a lot of meter on deck, this is a rough hill to climb for Rowanism.
Well, this is a rough Hilda. So we're going to see Mr. Rowan can bring this back. It's getting these hits. And that's another. Has to burst it out. Oh, big whiff. And that was such a beautiful seat. Rowanism made it so like Jaju thought he could punish. He jumped the punish and got a punish of his own. Rowanism bringing this back. And he does.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Jaju with two characters with a lot of life. It doesn't matter. Mr. Rowanism takes the set 3-1.
Honestly, I was really surprised at the end of that because, you see enough matches when you're down to one character, especially a character that, isn't as known for their solo comeback potential. I mean, yeah, Hilda has some tools. Hilda has some really good tools. But just the way that Rowanism played so smart the entire time. Let's check out a couple of the replays from that ridiculous set.
That was incredible. Yeah, Mr. Rowanism just going, full on offense, trying to just, squeeze out the life from Hilda Yuzu. Just because knowing if you get in that space, here comes that setup again where the Hyde just jumps in the sky. And it's like, you can't see. You can't dodge, you can't see.
No, he was just gone.
But then
Look at this.
Yeah, I love that Jaju brought it back. That third game was just super clean on their part. Especially there too, that big punish. That was just super well played. And he brought that energy into game 4, but Mr. Rowanism with that clutch factor was so good.
And look at all of this. Look at the way that Rowanism is playing the jumps for the overhead to take out the other Hilda, and just grabs Yuzu on incoming with another overhead. These jumps are coming in clutch for Rowanism and just takes it.
Big time. You saw right there, yeah, just catching, Jaju whiffing, and with that, Jaju's already sent to the lower bracket where they have to face Cax. That's an insane match, and only one of those players can continue on here. Who will it be out of the two? I don't know, because they both are just ridiculous. And it's sad to have to see one of them go early, but that's just how it goes here at the PlayStation 4 Open Series. The level of play is just so high. The losers bracket is just going to be insanity, and my heart goes out to anyone that has to be down there.
Oh, I mean, I'm just, like, looking at the bracket, I was just shaking my head the whole time because, if you're Jaju and you're going up against Cax, and I mean, and the same is true in the reverse, what are you thinking? And that's your losers match? That's so rough.
But before we get to losers, we're still going on with all of our winners. So up next, Lollare and Dutchy will be going at it here. So Lollare, no stranger to the monthly finals, consistently making it there, hasn't really cracked like a top 3 and made a big dent into it, but definitely a lot of fun to watch. And Dutchy as well. But let's take a look at Lollare right here. Repping the 9 and Yang. And also repping Italy, so love watching that, and love seeing some Yang, because especially with a lot of Hildas running rampant, character like Yang that can just burst through and has the ability to just bulldoze their way in is always fun.
Yeah, and I love thinking about the character synergy with 9 as well. As a 9 player myself, I always get really excited seeing one of those on screen and thinking about all of the mix-ups and just the sheer damage output that Lollare can do. I'm excited for this. Comes in with a 61% win rate, playing 33 matches over the course of the month.
Yeah, super explosive player. So much fun to watch. I'm excited to see. But Dutchy, always fun too because it brings in the Weiss. How often do you see a Weiss? It's not very often. Not a bad character the slightest, but just kind of uncommon because she was kind of okay at the start of BBTAG's life, so she didn't get to see a lot of play, but despite the buffs, not a lot of people jumped on there. But still a lot of fun. More Elizabeth too. And, a nice 65% win rate matching Lollare. So it would be a very even match from what it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the interesting thing here is that both 9 and Elizabeth have some huge full screen options. Yang being kind of the odd one out with her aggressive, high damage output style. And, you can never, ever count out Yang in Semblance. And hold up, we're talking about a whole different thing. And we're going to see a Akatsuki and BlazBlue instead, which still has full screen options and lots of punchy and kicky, but it's totally different.
Team Blitzkampf on the side over there, right? And the matching colors to boot. Okay, I'm about it. Lollare though still rocking the Yang, and I love the pick of the Yuumi. Another really strong character. Yuumi, amazing normals, but gets tagged. Dutchy already starting out with the happy birthday, bringing in the cross combo. Boom, boom, here comes the Blitz tank.
Oh my gosh, and Tank, for all of the silliness, is actually a really good character and can counter certain comps pretty well, and especially a Yang with his own armor to match.
Yeah, that's the thing you see. Most of Blitz Tank's normals have armor on that, and it's going to be tough for Yang to break through, but still finding the damage. Nice block on the jump C setup, and now it's down to Yuumi coming in. The super's going to connect. Oh, but luckily Blitz Tank makes it out with barely any scratches.
I love the call of the tank assist to catch Yuumi when she landed from that JC, because she gets down there way before Akatsuki could have punished her, and the tank just took a ton of her life.
And then it also punished the Yang. The active switch, the armor blew through the jump C, and now this pressure from full screen, the unblockable. It's gonna go for the big beam.
He's got two more bars. Oh!
Ooh.
Why does Akatsuki do so much damage? I will never know. But wow.
That was beautiful. That cross combo was amazing. So that's something you saw right there. The Quake, that jumping Quake move from Blitz Tank is fully unblockable if your opponent is grounded. So using the Akatsuki assists, right? The B Tatsu, the EX Tatsu assist, to just lock him down on the ground and then boom, unblockable, take more damage. That was such a great setup. Everything looked good from Dutchy. I love seeing that synergy.
Yeah, this is a really fun team to watch. I mean, anytime you get to commentate a tank match, it's a treat. But I can see why they would put this into Lollare's team.
Yeah, I see that. You have the tank with that far range with the beams, and the armor to fight up against Yang. Oh, what? Yang's getting some hits in. Tank has tied up for the largest damage or life in the game. So him, Wallstein, Tager, super healthy. But just look at that. Yang can't get anything started. Here comes Semblance into the burst. Okay, here comes Yuumi. And nice cross up.
Yeah, with Yuumi, she's definitely able to counter a lot of what Tank puts out there. And when you have all of the aerial rave and the damage, so good to punish with. And now Tank's out of the picture. Akatsuki can do this, for sure. But not if he's blocked.
Yeah, waiting for the stomp. Nice from Lollare just to chill out. Lollare to chill out there. Full punish is going to be a lot of damage and waste a lot of that resonance.
Yeah, so looking now, I like having Yang far away, shooting all of those bottle rockets. but Yumi trying to take advantage. The thing with Yumi is that she only has like a couple of routes to get in, so a lot of it, if you're familiar with Yumi's gameplay, isn't a surprise. However, catches Akatsuki with the fan, that's it.
All right, 1-1. Yeah, that 5B from Yumi, very impressive normal. You know, easy to hit confirm off of, really good distance on there, pretty fast. That was a nice way to tie it up, but taking advantage of kind of like what every BlazBlue likes to do and just go for that counter. You know, you think of like, oh man, this is something that not super high risk reversal, but at the same time, you know, is counter hit afterwards, you cannot burst if you do it. So as strong as it can be to blow through attack, if just one wrong guess, like any other reversal, you know, you still gotta be careful.
Right, and an interesting thing here is that Dutchy did take a little bit of time before coming back into that match to just think about things, life in general. But you do, you know, with this sort of situation, you know these players have other teams, so it's always interesting to see why they don't switch.
But again, having that first win, that first game win, probably enough to say I can do it with this squad. Just have to tighten up a little bit of things. Oh, but the counter didn't work out, and some damage coming off Lollare's side, but Dutchy still with a nice lead here.
Man, all of the C Tatsus into the corner, goes straight into that Akatsuki super. Doesn't have enough damage, or doesn't have enough meter to do 2 supers, which could have been really devastating. But this is, phew.
That's great. Oh, the jump B! She has armor on that, so even her jump-ins can have armor. Just barreling through, but the Tatsu switches sides, brings in the Blitz tank, and there's the unblockable into beam.
Wow, that was so much damage, and just that parry! That was gross. Really good awareness on the side of Dutchy right now with his Akatsuki play.
Another unblockable! Put in the guard string, and on the block, oh my gosh, I love seeing that. Did the guard string with tank, called that C Tatsu into the Quake, and Dutchy with just great setups into that. It's just incredible how nice the synergy is between these two that come from the same game, and how well it lets Blitz Tank pull off these crazy unblockable setups.
Yeah, I've seen Blitz Tank paired with other characters, but this, you know, like, the original synergy is just so good, and the way that Dutchy's playing right now is so smart. That parry was great. It caught both characters, and it does a lot of damage, and put him in a very advantageous position.
Yeah, that was just super smart, and that's like what's so nice about it, right? You have a character that can just circumvent full screen pressure and like full screen assists, because that counter would just stop anything from projectiles to normals, and
get ready.
It's just smart. It's really smart there from Dutchy, who's just looking good here, and forced to switch out on Lollare, who's bringing in the Adachi.
Now this team goes on a tear in the Americas. The Yumi Adachi, just, you know, with Adachi Zeos, you can set up some really, really gross things that you can't even see because of the way that the pixels are on screen. So let's see how this goes for Lollare. Unfortunately, not particularly well with this incredible happy birthday from Dutchy.
It's going to be big damage here to start it off, as Dutchy now has all the screen to work with, but gets punished, and here comes Lollare trying to bring it back. Lollare, giving off mixed signals here.
Yeah, definitely.
Use the meter to get the EX aerial rave to go all the way to the corner here, and now Blitz Tank's gonna go down as the cross slash from Lollare is gonna put down one character and all down to solo Akatsuki.
Oh man, Lollare was ready for that and is just putting a world of hurt onto Dutchy. Still has that resonance. If they get a chance, they can activate it right there. Phew! But what's the incoming mix? Good job blocking all of that, because that can be a really scary situation.
And now bringing out the Yuzu instead. Oh, the B Tatsu looks like got hit at the end of it. Lollare just wanted to end this with all this bar here. Double super should do it, but doesn't get the full combo.
Yeah, oh man. What a great switch from Lollare. Just got, you know, really the advantage they needed. I mean, maybe it was the character switch forcing Dutchy to have to make adjustments, mentally. I always think it's really impressive because not only does the person playing the new team have to adjust to the buttons and the setups, but the person you're playing against now has to come up against a different team synergy, a different energy, a different pacing. And I don't know if maybe Dutchy wasn't prepared for that, or it just caught off guard by the aggressiveness that Lollare suddenly brought to the table.
Yeah, you saw all those little things worked out super well, and we're gonna see a switch on their own. Dutchy answering back with their own Adachi Yosuke. So now we're gonna have a Yosuke on the floor, backed by BZO and like Adachi's amazing assist package. So here we go, and we even starting Yumi on Lollare's side. So I like that, not one to start Adachi against. Not one to start him in the mirror.
Yeah, I was going to say Yumi has a lot of nice starting options against the Adachi, but we really didn't get to see that there. Yosuke coming in pretty... Wow, Dutchy is really not afraid to switch their characters out, like on a dime.
Yeah, that was like point blank too, didn't get punished. Here comes the BZO. Look at all the damage that Lollare has taken already because of just on the back of Adachi Zio assist, plus Yosuke's just natural mix-up.
Yeah, this is a totally different game than even the first one. Just the way that Dutchy is taking advantage of the Zios, and then with those V-slashes from Yosuke. And again, though, Dutchy's blocking has been pretty outstanding. Nice parry from Yumi, though, to get all of this corner damage.
That was crazy. Called out the, Yosuke hit the EX parry, right? Go all the way to the corner here, does some big damage. That might have brought Lollare back into this. Super whiffs, no punish on it though. Does it again? Doesn't work out, but the reversal does. What the heck is going on?
I don't know. These guys are playing wild right now. Just DPs in the middle of nowhere, reversals. We got parries. What do you want?
The tag out getting punished by the Yumi 5B. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a lot of damage. It's Super's gonna cash out. Dutchy's, craziness is starting to catch up to him. What's gonna happen here? The cross-up jump C, what?
Oh, that JC is gross because it hits twice.
Fine C, Lollare does it. Solo Yumi. He answered the high pace with his own to take it all. Oh my gosh.
Face me again.
That was really impressive. What a fun match to get to watch. I always really enjoy matches where character switch is an option because that's always a card that somebody can play. Be like, you switch, I switch. Okay, I switch again. Just making things really exciting. But let's see how these started out with this team. So here, we still had the tank Akatsuki, which caught me really by surprise. But Dutchy's showing why it was a team that was going to work well for them. Look at that cross finish, just getting all of this unblockable corner damage, but Lollare was showing that they really knew how to deal with it after they saw it just a couple of times.
Yeah, like just answering back. And it's funny too, because it wasn't after the first round ending that we saw some switches. It was just like, okay, Lollare started to get a little bit of momentum. I'm going to switch it up on them after the fact, after a while, and mess around. But it's just the way this matchup shifted from the get-go. I just love to see how the teams swapped out, the game plans changed. Oh, Blitz Tank.
Yeah, so that was when Lollare decided, Dutchy's up 2, let me go ahead and see what this team switch does, and paid dividends. Just the pressure that they were able to bring, taking out the Blitz Tank extremely early in that particular match, and then very healthy when they took out Akatsuki.
And then just a solo Yumi, that cross up there, and then you see Yosuke in the corner here, and then just 5C user coming through. Nice stuff there from Lollare, who's going to continue on in the upper bracket. And we see an update there in the lower bracket. What do we got?
Cax took it 3-0 over Jaju. I'm not surprised, but very impressed.
I feel for Jaju. Had such a good, opportunity here. Had the run back potential against Mr. Rowanism. Couldn't find it there. Then Cax just going over them to continue on. But, hopefully next month Jaju keeps bringing it back. But that's just the stress and how hard it is to compete in the PS4 Open Series and getting to the monthly finals because everyone's a shark. Everyone can just run over anybody, and you never know how it's going to go.
Right. I mean, we've gotten to see some amazing matches so far, and just the caliber of gameplay here in the EU region it's blown me away, and it has not ceased to impress. So speaking of the caliber of EU gameplay, we're getting RetroMonkey Sage versus Dyni Crippler up next. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, I think RetroMonkey Sage hasn't made a lot of these top 8 monthly finals. So a little bit of a unique player that I get to watch. I'm excited to see. You know, picture-wise, you never believe the pictures. But, you know, we got protagonists on deck. The Narukami and the Naoto K. And repping the UK. So that's always nice to see players repping that island. And, decent, win rate. The only played looks like 1 week into it, but made the cut and is running through the competition. So I'm excited to see how they fare against a lot of these tournament mainstays.
Right, so they're going to be facing Dyni Crippler from Italy. Again, don't believe what you see, but Yang Hakumen? Now there's a team that packs a punch. I'll pack my bags and go to the pun corner, I'm sorry. But anyway, playing 24 matches, coming in with a 75% win rate. Excited to see them, especially into Naoto K. If that is what we're going to see at all, because having looked through some of these players' profiles, a lot of them have separate teams. And that's the thing, when you get into this high-level gameplay, a lot of these players have different characters for different situations. So they could play, and here we are, Makoto Mika? What in the world?
Oh, I love the flavor. Okay, that is out of left field. Makoto doesn't get a lot of play. Makoto is not considered anything amazing, but watch out because she can surprise you. But Dyni Crippler sticking to their guns. It's going to have the ability to punch with Yang, has Hakumen damage on the back end, but the first CC sandwich coming to RetroMonkey. I don't want to see how this plays out. Because I know Mika is honestly not super high played, but a strong character. She has a lot of mobility, she's got like a nice command grab, she has the ability to blow through projectiles and close the gap extremely well. And a lot of damage already coming up from RetroMonkey.
And actually with Makoto has a lot of, gravitational pulls that she can just set up on the screen. Unfortunately, that's the end of Mika, and I don't know how she plays into Hakumen. I mean, okay, just punch them. That's fine. That's a thing that we can do.
Immediate super effort resonance. I like that.
I mean, that is
going in.
Definitely an answer. I mean, the thing with Makoto too is that due to a lot of her moves, she can change her jump arc pretty significantly and throw off the moveset of the opposite player. Unfortunately, getting caught here. Dyni going ahead and opting to put in that cross combo. Let's see how much damage this does.
And didn't opt to go for a little bit more, but found the overhead. Oh my gosh. Like 13k off of that sequence. And then right into a setup. That is this team. This team is damage on damage on damage. Yang to break in and bust through the defense. And then you put out Hakumen, who's going to have like the high-low mix-up. And then I love seeing their defense too. Because the Makoto was trying to get a little sneaky. Like you saw like a jump C happen where she drops down with her tail. Dyni blocked it. Got the anti-air because Makoto bounces off, and that just gave him the momentum to seal that. So it looks like Dyni Crippler is ready for the matchup.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which is good because with a team like Makoto Mika, that could definitely put you on the mental back foot when you're not expecting that. But it doesn't seem to have stopped Dyni at all. Just getting tons of punches in with Yang. Interesting choice, but it worked.
Monkey going for the reversals, getting a lot of hits though. Opted to try to go for a lot of burst bait in some of those, but still had a lot of damage on the Yang. So forced to swap out. Now we gotta be careful though, because Makoto is bleeding right now.
Yeah, and we saw. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say we saw in the last match that Mika didn't really get a big chance to play because she got taken out early and was about to suffer the same fate right there that Makoto just did.
Oh, the Yukikase, the call after the residents. I love that from Dyni Crippler. It's such a good character to blow up disrespect. Because it's the second time we saw RetroMonkey Sage go for resonance into something. It wasn't resonance block, it was resonance, it's my turn. But then Dyni Crippler just turned that around, the counter super from Hakumen just slicing through the screen. Oh man, Dyni Crippler is reading him like a book right now.
Yeah, I'm curious that RetroMonkey chose to stay with this team because I don't feel like they're getting the foothold they need to make any significant progress in the match. So with Dyni being up 2-0, that would typically be where we'd see that switch happen, but let's see if Monkey has something up their sleeve.
Never count Monkey out. He's been getting some solid hits, been getting some damage, just hasn't been able to seal the deal on a character. Nice mix-up. Okay, and then, yes, I like that. Getting the burst punish, using the upper body invincibility on Makoto. And here comes that big damage. All right, RetroMonkey looking sharp here.
Yeah, I love seeing these combos from Mika. They look so cool, and they do a lot of damage in return. So now, Dyni bringing Yang in, gonna go into Semblance. Let's see what he's got here. I like the use of the Hakumen assist to try and just create a little bit of this pressure. Has enough meter to do 2 supers, but chose not to. Baited out a DP, and Mika is off the table.
You saw like Dyni Crippler just waited for so long on that reversal. Called it out, got the damage. Oh, the counter hit!
Oh, that was beautiful.
Sent her to the moon. Felt like RetroMonkey was gonna press again another huge counter hit out of Dyni Crippler, and that was just so much damage in like 2 seconds, erasing Makoto from the screen. Oh, Dyni Crippler looked so good there and took that set 3-0. That was insane.
And the thing that's so crazy to me is that Hakumen is a slow character, moves very slowly across the screen. It didn't look like that movement was a hindrance to Dyni at all. Just the jumps that he was able to get, and that, I can't wait to see the replay, honestly, because that last match with, I mean, look at the air movement from Hakumen here, just moving across the screen, creating so much pressure. This is just our first match, and the damage is insane, and with the Yang, and this was the one that was, 11.9, that's just disgusting.
Into the setup and all that, and there you see like the first counter getting huge damage on that, taking out the character, and you're gonna see like what happens when they bring back Mika. That's just like, Dyni Crippler just switch out Hakumen. Oh, here's your resonance? Cool. Bam!
Not anymore. Look at that. That was so smart to take advantage of the timing on that. So here's another one, Yang's in Semblance. Look at that bait, he just waited for so long.
And then like the kick here at the end. It's like, I know you're gonna jump, I have some damage on you, and as soon as they tech, BAM! Oh my gosh.
God, that was just as good the second time as it was the first.
That was fun. So Dyni Crippler makes it to the next round in the upper bracket where they will face Lollare. And now RetroMonkey Sage has to face Dutchy in an elimination match in the lower bracket. But that is your updated bracket after our first round of play.
Oh, this is getting, I mean, I can't even say it was heating up. It was like full blue flames the minute we rocked in here, and now it's just add more fuel to the fire because this is getting ridiculous.
It's been crazy, and I'm living for it. And if y'all want to get part of the craziness, again, check out compete.playstation.com. Sign up for the weekly events. To make it to the monthly finals, you have to qualify from the weekly tournaments happening every week through the month of April. Have some fun, play in the events, qualify for the finals, and try to make it to this top 8 and just be a part of this amazing show and show us what you got, because I want to see more of all of EU.
For sure. I mean, we've already seen some great things, and there's something about seeing new players crack into the top 8 that just brings a whole new freshness to the scene. So if you think you can do that, sign up, because we'd love to see you.
Oh, for sure. But for now, we're going to cool off just a little bit, but we will be right back with some more upper bracket action here at the PlayStation 4 Open Series. So do not leave this channel, and we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the PS4 Open Series tournament here for the EU Monthly BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Finals. I am Jadelyn. I am joined by my dude Raph. How are you doing today so far?
Still great. The last matches have just been electric. It might be morning time. It's now afternoon where I'm at, but it just woke me up, got me fueled for more, and we're seeing this bracket. We got some craziness coming up as we hit our semis for the upper bracket.
Right, so we've already seen some ridiculous action, and we're going to see right now King Rasta and Mr. Rowanism and Lollare and Dyni Crippler in our upper bracket, while our lower bracket fights it out with RetroMonkey, Sage, and Dutchy. The losers of those upper bracket matches faces those killers in the lower bracket.
So and that's going to be scary. You know, anywhere you cut it, wherever you are in this bracket, you are not safe. Especially this match here. I'm so excited about what we're seeing next. King Rasta, the unequivocally biggest champion of last year, month after month, defeating the competition, staying on top of the mountain, doing the best out of anyone. But then 2021, they didn't appear. Mr. Rowanism took over. The last 2 months, it's been the Mr. Rowanism show. So they are the current king of the mountain. You saw there the vote of who you think is going to win. Mr. Rowanism with 61% of the vote with the advantage over King Rasta. But we saw what King Rasta did to the first seed Cax. Never can count out the previous champion, so it's going to have a clash of the titans here in our semis match.
Get ready.
Oh boy, so sticking with the teams that they had in their previous set, so we're seeing the Yosuke Hyde and the Seth Hilda. Interesting though, I just want to point this out, that in the previous set, Seth was always a starting character and they're starting Hilda. I think that's a really cool thing. I guess they feel like Hilda has the advantage at the beginning of this one. But, oh man, I'm just excited to see them get into it as we wait for everything to sync up and have the best gameplay experience possible. Just the difference in the two teams between the approach from Yosuke Hyde and the approach from Seth Hilda, I think is going to show us some really interesting gameplay.
It's going to be electric for sure, right? You have two strong assist characters in the Hyde and the Hilda. You have the Ninja Boys, right, in Yosuke and Seth. So very similar when you look at it in terms of just like, this is what the characters' archetypes are. It's like we're checking the connection quality a little bit, so give us a second. We'll go into the match again after both players sort this out. But
Right.
Expect a high velocity match, right? Because even like graphically and aesthetically, these two characters are just like two halves of the same coin.
So still feeling it out, figuring out what we can do. And you know what happens? It's no big deal. We're online. We go back, we fix it, and a big. But I'm just really excited to see what they're gonna do. I mean, Rasta was so explosive in that first round with the that they saw them play with the Yosuke Hyde. We got to highlight a lot of that earlier. But then into the Seth Hilda from Mr. Rowan. Just the way, the awareness from Mr. Rowan to capitalize on any teeny tiny little mistake was so good and so clean that two players of this caliber, I feel like at this level, they're not playing the character matchup, they're playing the player.
So it'd be really cool to see how that goes between them, right? Because, you know, realistically, I think it's a very even matchup. Player skill wise, it's super close. Team wise, again, it's like they do similar things. I think Hilda's going to control space a bit more because she is the one that has like the 4P. She has that, the giant star that takes up all that space that can really keep Yosuke from running wild. Although it does have a little bit of startup, so like proper assist calls from Hyde can keep Hilda in check, either through like the the 6P from Hyde, or even like the Pale Bringer covering that distance and letting Yosuke move around a little bit. But then like you look at like the opposite end, Yosuke's assist not the best. That's always like his biggest downside, is just that he doesn't really offer too much. There is like some utility in it, but it's not going to be as oppressive as you look at Hyde or Hyde or Hilda.
Right. And the thing that I keep thinking about, I mean, because we've talked about, Hilda, wow, so strong, all of those things, that Seth, if he gets going, is really good, but he also wants to be in the same general space as Yosuke, and air to air, I feel like Yosuke has a significant advantage, especially when you do have that Hyde assist that can just, crunch you into a situation you don't want to be in. Yeah, Seth does have some high mobility options, is able to escape when he needs to, but if you are not playing at the absolute top of your game, you could be just crushed in an instant.
Yeah, gotta be extra careful with using the proper assist calls to leverage that advantage that can give you. But just being aware that King Rasta will match Mr. Rowanism wherever he tries to go. That's what I'm excited to see. Is because it's going to be an air battle. The floor is lava. Both these guys are just going to be hopping around like crazy, and it's going to be that's what's going to add to that just high speed of it. But it could come down to the assist characters too. Hilda having that amazing range that she has. Hyde has the EX neutral skip, the EX that he just hops forward and goes through projectiles. Can be dangerous too, especially if the Hilda's on point. So a lot of this counts on the character matchups and how they're going to swap out the characters during the match and see if they can't leverage an advantage left and right.
Yeah, so interesting. I wonder if the Hilda point was a mistake, because now he's back set point. But we're getting into this match. Connection issues have been resolved, and this is kind of what I was envisioning with Seth. Just goes for one jump, and look at all of the options that King Rasta has to keep Seth on the ground.
And now catches Hilda, get a damage. Remember, Hilda, up close, can be a little hard. She doesn't have a very fast reversal action. Under pressure, can be a little dangerous. And this makes up looking really good. There's the push block. Saving her, and now, yeah, I like that. Jumping back, getting the hit on Yosuke, and here's the punish into sandwich.
And, oh man, you just have to really watch. I feel like until right there, Rowanism was playing so carefully, did get that ball set up, and now is being able to take his turn, has Hyde in the corner. Hyde does jump. Nice active switch, though, into Hilda to avoid all of that incoming damage onto Seth. But now it's Rasta's turn.
Yeah, that was a nice counter hit 2B. Forces the burst out. Here comes the sandwich stuff from Mr. Rowanism. Good blocks from King Rasta.
Yeah, only took one tiny little hit there and is now able to take their turn again. God, Yosuke is so fast and is able to call the Hyde assist, get the super. Hilda's no longer a part of this equation. And now you're down to solo Seth, who I feel like into this comp is kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Those Hyde assists are going to be basically a stop sign to keep Seth from really doing anything. And then, again, how King Ross is just meeting Rowanism in the air and making it so that you have no escape from me.
And just, oh my gosh, these Hyde assists are coming in clutch for Yosuke right now. You can definitely see the synergy in this team. King Rasta does have 2 bars. Is he going to choose to use it? Yes. And that's enough.
Optimal.
God, 11-8. I hope it would be enough.
The last hit of it doing the job. That shows how much experience King Rasta has, knowing that this is the perfect combo to end it. To a T. Incredible match. That went a lot of back and forth, right? That was just the first game out of the set. And King Rasta taking that first, have one on the board, but that just cannot overstate how crazy this is going to be. I am just excited for more, and I hope it goes the distance, but either way, I can just feel like my heart racing, my hair turning gray from just how exciting everything is.
Yeah, it definitely is that kind of a match, and just, I mean, I know that these are the teams that were played before, but the question in the back of my mind, especially when somebody has the potential of going up 2-0, is always, is there another team? But let's stick into this one for now. King Rasta once again getting the first blood there. Seth sitting in the back, regaining that little bit of red health that he lost. Nice burst. I would have said, I did say nice burst, and then it really wasn't. Got punished very badly.
Big time. Nice grab. Could have followed up, though. It happens, though. You think a burst to get you out, but all of a sudden, blam, your opponent's ready for it with that assist call. And there's another burst here, this time from Mr. Rowanism.
Oh, nice tech on the grab there. Probably just expected it from the way that the character was running. But, man, the thing I'm loving about this match is how high octane it is. You know, you can't stand still for a second. There's often 4 characters on the screen. You really have to pay attention to these active switches that are coming out. And, oh, nice rejection to throw Yosuke into the corner, get some damage, and now he's just stuck and baits the DP again.
But then finds his way through the super. 2 reversals, doesn't matter, and goes into the DHC to bring in Hyde and let Yosuke recover some life. But that was insane. Oh, reversal catches Hyde running away. Now this is looking all Mr. Rowanism. Oh, but great burst on the cross combo. It's going to get extra damage there from the 5C, and Mr. Rowanism looking a little rough right here. King Rasta trying to bring this back.
Oh, nice low. Gonna get he knows his combo route for this one. Doesn't even need to call the Hyde assist. What a low from King Rasta.
Never say never. King Rasta looked like down and out that game, but just clutch factor activated. Mr. Rowanism took so much incremental damage throughout. Like that whole sequence of just like counter, and then just going for the super to blast through to hit Hilda. King Rasta's on another level right here. Can Mr. Rowanism bring this back and stop the king? I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point. And the thing that's crazy to me is they're not taking any time, any breaks. They're just like, forget it, we're going, we're playing. You know, it's time to play the game. And, you know, no significant starting adjustments from Rowanism's side. He gets a little bit on the opener there, calls in the cross combo. There was a tiny happy birthday that I think he was trying to take advantage of. But now, I looked at health bars, and King Rasta's sitting in a kind of precarious position.
We've seen it before, though. We've seen King Rasta take a lot of damage, but once he got going, it meant a lot. But still, Mr. Rowanism, huge life lead, has the pressure here. A lot of damage on both characters. If Mr. Rowanism can take at least one of these out, he might can bring this back, and with that, it's going to be Hyde going out.
Yeah, I was really liking Rasta's choice to use those 2Bs as an anti-air instead of spending, you know, any of his resources to try and get Hilda out. But unfortunately, with 2B, Rowanism was able to take advantage of that situation, just like he's able to take care of this as well. Rasta finally gets the chance to resonance, avoids the ball, but Seth is just chilling in space.
Exactly. You see those up backs into orb set, dive, then you have to guess, is the Hilda assist going to come out or not? So just really nice there, knowing that there is no Hyde in the back to cover King Rasta. Able to just kind of play that full screen game and just set up how they want to approach. And good to see, not going out 3-0 is last month's champ, Mr. Rowanism, who has one on the board, has a little bit of steam, but can they keep on going in this match?
Yeah, that's really the question. I know I made a face during that part, but the way that they got into that so fast, they were like, we're fighting now! And I was like, oh, okay, we're fighting, got it. This is an explosive start to the round. It's only been a couple of seconds. Both point characters now sitting in the assist position, regaining health, and Mr. Rowanism with the first significant damage of the game. But Rasta doing a great job with some blocking here. Active switch catches him off guard, burst from the Yosuke.
But then techs immediately into getting hit by the Yosuke, so now it's King Rasta's turn. He's jumping in the corner though. Nice burst there from Mr. Rowanism as he has all this screen space to work with.
Yeah, so Rasta does get hit by the Hilda. Oh!
What a nice punish.
Yeah, that was such a nice punish. I love
that bait. You have to delay normal to call out the reversal counter there from Yosuke. And now Mr. Rowanism has it down to the solo Hyde. He's going to get hit by the orb, but he's going to get a lot of damage here.
Yeah, these setups are really good. Look at these orb setups. Seth is just having his way with the screen spacing right now. Just the way that he was able to do orb, move.
There's the EX neutral skip. Made it through, but couldn't get a combo from it.
Oh, it's a shame got hit there because that looks really cool. Oh, the bounce out of the corner from the Hilda. I think Rowanism thought it was a little safer than it actually was, but Hyde that sword has a really nice range on it. Unfortunately gets caught by those amazing ball setups that Rowanism was finally getting to set up by Seth and is taken out. We're now 2-2.
Mr. Rowanism showing why he's the champ, why he's the one that has to be dethroned and not King Rasta, bringing that back after going down 2 games. And that was just, a lot of little missed opportunities for King Rasta. Dropping that one combo in the corner didn't help, but then they had a hit. They went into Hyde's Rekkas, but they ran out of resonance as soon as he landed, so he couldn't get the super cancel, and gave up basically getting to the corner for free and extra damage. So that's just rough timing on that part, but still not out of it. Can prevent getting reverse 3-0, excuse me. But Mr. Rowanism looking really good here.
Yeah, I feel like the momentum that Mr. Rowanism has built up in the previous 2 matches is impressive, and also nothing to, keep him back. Look, he's just playing his game. The first 2 games weren't anything like this, and his Seth is absolutely shining in this right now.
Oh yeah, big time. The pressure's on, great mix-ups. The pressure finds the grab into Hilda. This should be enough to take out Hoyosuke. And now, Hyde all by himself. Pretty much almost a full life bar. But against a full health Hilda and Seth, this is going to be real bad for King Rasta, but he finds a grab. Here we go.
Yeah, that was a nice grab. Take advantage of the situation where the 2 characters were on screen and just sort of... He was so close, you couldn't really see the grab animation get started. Now, King Rasta has Seth in this corner, and at first I was like, oh, that's a huge deal.
Seth is dead. This should hopefully be enough to finish the job. EX Rekka's gonna take him down. The last hit does it. It's now down to Hilda versus Hyde, a Unis battle to end all Unis battles.
Wow, that was incredible. I was just gonna say that Hyde definitely has the comeback potential here. And he, in that moment of thinking it, took out Seth with some amazing jump cancel. Oh, it was great. But now Hilda, in this resonance, is doing an enormous amount of damage. Hyde still has a little bit of resonance left over, but look at the life difference. This is so huge.
And that's the difference between level 4 resonance, level 2 resonance. Pixels left. Palebringer Super's not going to do it, and Mr. Rowanism gets to punish. And Mr. Rowanism advances to the upper bracket finals with a 3-2 win over the King Rasta.
Oh, that last couple of moments was just... It was heartbreaking because... the Hyde went in with that super. If Rowanism had done anything except for block with that Hilda, it would have been a completely different match, and there's a good possibility we still would have been in that set, but the block was the right read.
That was so good. And that's just crazy. That comeback could have been so big for King Rasta, who had a great start out here with, 2 games over Mr. Rowanism, almost putting the February champ into the lower bracket. With, Mr. King Rasta just had great rounds overall. Great pressure, didn't relent. But then, when Mr. Rowanism got that first game win, when he got that one win he needed to keep on going, that was just it. That was the linchpin to his reverse victory.
Yeah, it definitely played a lot in his mental plan and his mindset. It really seemed to shift. It became, what can I do into what will I do? It just had a lot more confidence. Look at this. This ball setup right here with the Seth, just back and forth and dashing through. Oh, and just right there, the patience there to take out this Seth in this particular round was so good. Just those Hyde combos on point, and here is where Rowanism took it with all of the meter and the resonance, and just watch this, the way, just block.
Yeah.
And that was what did it.
Felt like there was going to be a cancel there, that Mr. Rowanism was going to toss out a normal, but he did not bite, and that was just crazy. I'm glad to see Mr. Rowanism now sitting there awaiting the winner of Lollare and Dyni Crippler. And a nice update there as RetroMonkey Sage has took it over Dutchy 3-2 to advance, where they will face King Rasta in their next losers match. But
that's really exciting, especially because we didn't get to see a lot of RetroMonkey play, because unfortunately that particular set was really fast since RetroMonkey went down 3-0. But good for them making it through. Hopefully get to see them a little bit more later, but we will see. Next, we have Lollare and Dyni Crippler. This match, I'm ridiculously excited to see. Dyni brought in the Yang Hazma last time, which worked really well, had a lot of damage, a lot of good output, and then with Lollare, was one of the only character switches we've seen. They started with the Yang Yuumi and then switched to the Yuumi Adachi.
Looks like the crowd likes Dyni Crippler in this set, not by a huge margin. But it'll be interesting to see. Not big. It'll be interesting to see what Lollare brings to the table here with their diversity of teams, and I want to know how they're going to play this out, because I expect the Yang Hakumen to come through for Dyni Crippler. That is a fact. And starting out the gate with Adachi Yuumi, two extremely strong characters paired together into some top-tier monstrosity. Can Dyni Crippler take it through with big punch and big sword? I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, me too. I mean, this was the team that Lollare had found so much success with, so starting with that seems like a great idea. But starting with a happy birthday for Dyni Crippler also sounds like a fantastic idea. Look at the damage they're putting out on the table right now.
That's huge. Both characters bleeding. Table for one. It's going to get the extended damage here off that command grab. And Dyni Crippler looking really good with the pressure.
Yeah, just Yuumi isn't able to find an opening. Almost dies there, but the burst from the Adachi saves her. She does have a lot of red health that hopefully Lollare won't make a mistake in calling her, but that right there set up something really nice. Burst from the Yang. Oh, got damage on Adachi, but Yuumi jumped over it, so now going into Aerial Rave. Lollare does have 5 bars, depending on how he wants to finish it. Could be a lot of damage.
But nice burst there from Dyni Crippler. Oh, the counter though, this is big. Lollare with a pixel of life has opportunity to make something of it. With punish with the 5B, that's Hakumen going down.
Yeah, nice to take advantage of the downtime to switch in the Adachi, because Yuumi had a pixel and a half of life left, but cross combo activation, keep Yang in this bouncy little state here. Doesn't have enough meter to call in a second super, and Yang goes into Semblance.
Oh, punish the Semblance. You just saw a 2P, or 2A come out from Adachi. He puts out this little pistol, and Yang just punched it right out of his hand. Oh, but there is the EX from Yuumi. That is a 3-hit low that launches and is also a projectile / anti-air. And if a Yuumi is by herself with bar, you expect that to come out. You watch your ankles, because you will get sent flying sky high.
Right, and the thing with that is too, depending on the situation, you can actually let the character drop back down to the ground and then do Aerial Rave again. So just block, it's fine. That was, the Razor's Edge that Lollare played Yuumi on was so impressive, because I felt like every time Yuumi came in, she had like 12 health, and I was just holding my breath because I didn't know if she was gonna die or not, but the confidence was intimidating.
Big time. But luckily, Yuumi, as long as she's alive, she's a threat. Could be full life, could be nothing, right? If she's still on screen, you see great normals, great specials, but here comes Dyni Crippler. Doesn't get the combo, but has the corner pressure.
Goes into Aerial Rave, sending Hakumen over to the corner all the way. Oh,
here comes that corner pressure. Nice up back though from Dyni Crippler, but gets tagged by the 5B.
Yeah, Yang comes in, takes Yuumi out of the sky, and Yang just starts punching away. Oh! I like the idea of the burst, but unfortunately, with the Hakumen assist already called, Yuumi took a ton of damage, but is safe!
Again, living on a pixel. Again, Yuumi is back there, waiting to come back and be a threat again. Just could not take it out. And there's the punish on the jump C that is not safe on block. Great block from Lollare on the overhead.
Look at all of this damage coming out from Adachi. Yang is going to go into Semblance right here. Oh, but nice block on the wake up there. That was, Yang when she wakes up from Semblance can be really, really scary. Just goes into super and is dead. That actually wasn't what I was expecting, so wow.
That's the awareness from Lollare. If you force Yang into armor, you can still cancel your specials because Yang is going to just hang there. She's trying to swing. Okay, here comes Dyni Crippler. She's trying to make something happen here. Will he be able to pop resonance? Lollare's going to put him in the corner and get as much damage as they can.
And there is the aerial rave into the quarter forward C that launches again into a second aerial rave, calls in the assist. That is just a gross setup. And a low takes him out. Watch your toes, my dude.
Nice frame trap, yup. Hakumen not watching his ankles, and look at Lollare, up 2 games to none. You know, again, that Yumi living on a prayer has just been the deciding factor. If Dyni Crippler can take out that character, it might be big different, but it just isn't able to take out the biggest threat on the team. Dutchy's no slouch either, but the Yumi has been putting in so much work right now.
Yeah, definitely has been carrying Lollare to victory. Just the way that he's able to get those corner setups with the different ways that you can go into aerial rave, which has a ton of unscaled damage in them. And then just maximizing all of the assist potential with the Adachi too. It creates a lot of visual noise as well, so it's sometimes I feel like it might be a little bit difficult for Dyni to figure out where things are going on screen, and has to play a little bit more carefully than they would normally.
We'll see. They're getting some big damage there, but if they can't avoid taking so much of that damage. But they always get a good start. Dyni Crippler always gets a good thing going early.
Yeah, definitely. That has been something that he's been really consistent with, is getting a good early start. So now, Yumi just hitting with that 2A, which actually has a good advantage. Oh, wow, the quarterback C parry catches Yang mid-punch and sends her into the aerial rave in the corner. Cross combo is activated. More aerial rave for your viewing pleasure. And this is a dead Yang.
All right, Lollare looking super good here. Might get a big 3-0 sweep. But the overhead connects. Okay, here comes Hakumen. Dishing out some damage, going corner to corner.
I feel like this is the first time we've gotten significant Hakumen gameplay, which was something that we highlighted as being so impressive and important the last time that Dyni was on screen.
Yeah, that was big. And look at all that damage that he can dish out. The counter comes out, though, from Lollare. Trying to find opportunity to take out Adachi, looks like.
Oh, just jumps over it, but didn't punish. I mean, Hakumen was able to be punished for a little while after the super there, but Lollare chose not to, playing it safe, gets caught by the fans, and now going into aerial rave. Lollare does have 4 bars, and will probably want to extend this combo as long as physically possible so that Dyni's resonance runs out.
Yeah, that's super smart. Gonna have no resonance. It's gonna be dead. Doesn't matter. Resonance or not, that was just enough damage to take out Hakumen. And with a 3-0 victory, Lollare takes it over Dyni Crippler. The power of Lollare and the power of their Yumi Adachi on full display.
Yeah, that was some really impressive gameplay. I mean, especially considering in the previous time that we saw Lollare on screen, it was against Dutchy, and it was a 3-2. It was a much closer set. So let's take a closer look at this as we go into some replays. These Yumi aerial raves were coming in clutch, and the range on the 5B fan toss was just getting in, these clutch pieces of damage right where Lollare needed it. So Yang was in Semblance there. Yumi comes in. So Semblance and Resonance, which is terrifying, and then catches Dyni with the quarter forward C.
And I love that. You see that armor coming through, and Lollare was ready for it. Found the crosshatch between it to punish her for trying to blow her way through, and then back to the Yumi, and just how much of a threat she was. That 5B in her range just being so problematic for Dyni Crippler.
Yeah, it was a huge problem. I mean, and Adachi, as shown there, no slouch to providing the assists that Yumi really needed to close out those clutch situations. So here in this one, we've got Yang bouncing around in the corner, doesn't even get the chance to use the Semblance, and then another aerial rave, great assist call, goes straight into the super, and Lollare had a second super in the background, which was just enough damage to seal the deal.
Yeah, great awareness, great meter usage. Overall play, Lollare was just had Dyni Crippler's number, like to a T. in probably what it was our most decisive match of this top 8 so far for the monthly finals. And they punched their ticket to win upper bracket finals, and they're now going to be facing Mr. Rowanism a little later on, and a set for the ages. Can Mr. Rowanism continue like their hot streak throughout the month of 2021, or can Lollare finally take down the champ?
I mean, both of those two players are on such a, like you said, they're on a hot streak, and the way that Lollare just played makes me feel like the match against Mr. Rowanism is going to be nothing short of spectacular and everything explosive. Because just, the pacing is so good and everything is going in both of their directions. What do you get when two dynamic players like that come head to head? You get a really great winners finals.
Yeah,
hopefully.
It's going to be super duper good. And if you guys want your own chance to get to these kind of winter finals yourself, make sure you follow that link below, compete.playstation.com, enter the weekly events, and qualify for the monthly finals. There's an event every week for BBTAG. Compete online against other amazing players. Crack this monthly finals, make it here, and have your chance to win some awesome prizes, not just through BBTAG, but through Mortal Kombat 11, Uniclair, and have some fun. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for joining us so far. We're going to go ahead and throw it to a quick break, but stay tuned for more exciting BlazBlue Cross Tag battle action here on the PS4 Open Series. We'll be right back.
And welcome back, everyone. We are back for more PS4 Open Series monthly finals here on the EU side for BBTAG. We have already seen some amazing matches today, and there's still plenty more good stuff to come. I am Raph, and with me is Jalen. Jalen, talk to me about how insane this has been so far.
This tournament has been just, I said it in the beginning, it was blue flames from the beginning, and it has not cooled down since. As a matter of fact, I want to bring your attention to the bottom part of this bracket, where RetroMonkey Sage 3-2'd King Rasta. The king has been dethroned, and he out of here.
Yep, he's been usurped, and that's crazy. You know, finally coming back into the PS4 tournament series, making a top 8 again, but King Rasta is going to be denied his chance to even get into the money. And on the opposite end, Dyni Crippler eliminating Cax, taking Cax out, the two titans, King Rasta and Cax, who've had such consistent runs over last year, nowhere to be seen. It's insane, right?
Those are two players like that easily could have been grand finalists and been upset in the losers finals, but we're not going to see them. Up next, though, is our winners finals, which we were highlighting a little bit before we went to break, with Mr. Rowanism versus Lollare. Oh boy, Raph, bring us through this one.
I mean, Mr. Rowanism, I don't even need to explain, has won January monthly finals, won the February monthly finals, has just been on a tear throughout the year here in the PS4 Open Series, looking unstoppable with their big win over King Rasta, looking slated to even, be the Triple Crown 3 months in a row. But Lollare, who's had some amazing matches with an incredibly one-sided match in just the upper semis. So seeing how they fare against Mr. Rowanism, it's going to be intense. Because I think all momentum is on Lollare's side, but the crowd and history is on Mr. Rowanism's side.
Yeah, that 64% coming in from the crowd poll showing that, it's a strong showing, but it's not definitive. So excited to see how this is going to play out. Highlighted earlier when we saw Lollare the last time on stream that they've been one of the two players today to make a character switch. Only two that we've seen so far. So we know that Lollare's got different characters out their sleeve and can make adjustments as we play through in case they feel like something's not going their way or just want to throw Mr. Rowanism for a loop. And in fact, brings in a team that we have yet to see, a Yang Ruby.
The classic BBTAG team. These two characters synergize so well and have had just a strong history throughout events in BBTAG's lifetime. So seeing them back again in the matching colors.
Yeah, that's sick.
I love seeing Lollare bring something new to the table, but something that is time-tested. Kid-tested, mother-approved.
Oh, let's into that one. Oh boy, so let's go ahead and get right into this one. So we haven't seen a Yang, well, we did see Yang earlier in the first match that we saw against Dutchy, but that was paired with the Yumi. With the Ruby, like you were mentioning, a lot of synergy, a lot going on there. But let's see what he brings into this match. A nice high-low there with Ruby. Goes into the Buzzsaw Blast, catches with the Gun Blast resets, things that became really prominent after the 1.5 change, and catches this crash with a super. Oh boy, this is looking really in Lollare's favor right now.
Oh, but nice block from Mr. Rowanism. Gets the EX to bust through, and now those good blocks left Mr. Rowanism going to take his turn, and starting to get a lot of damage here. He's going to get a nice setup against Yang after the knockdown.
So Yang does get a nice power spike when she goes into Semblance, so it's not like it's a huge worry at the moment, but being at a life advantage is very helpful. Unfortunately, right here, if Yang can't bounce out of this, which she can't, she doesn't get the Semblance, and now it's solo Ruby. Not undoable, but definitely difficult.
Yeah, it's scary. We gotta keep the music on this awesome track though, so Yang doesn't take over here. But oh, nice punish, punishing Lollare for getting some hits on Hilda. Oh, I like that low to throw.
Yeah, so Hilda running her game switches into the Seth there.
Wants to run out the resonance. That's looking really good here. It's now Lollare's Ruby with 5 bars, so any one hit will take out any character. It's up to Mr. Rowanism to give that up. It has to be extra careful here.
Right. And Lollare actually playing a very careful game here, using all of those incredible movement skills from Ruby to keep themselves out of trouble. Unfortunately, does get caught by Hilda. Rowanism doesn't have any meter, though, to do anything with this. And so Ruby goes ahead and bounces out, hits with the overhead and grabs. What a catch!
Inburstable sequence there. Finds a hit, but didn't continue on. This is scary, as Mr. Rowanism has a chance here. Gonna run up resonance.
Yeah.
Gonna get that life back here. Here comes the orb. Nice blocker. The clash! The dive clashes with the 2B. 2B, one of the best animators of the game. Gunshot gets punished.
No.
The push block was so good. Push blocked her right under the orb, and it just rained down right on top of her. Mr. Rowanism with a clutch push block there, and just turned that back around. Good stuff. And that was only game 1.
I don't think my heart can handle this. The pressure. I don't know how the players are feeling, but I'm stressed. You know, Lollare had such good awareness to know where the orbs were on screen the entire time. And then, unfortunately, with that push block, I don't know if he's trying to figure out what's the next move, but unfortunately, forgot there was an orb right above his head.
Mr. Rowanism did it, and just set that up so perfectly. And this is the power of the champ. Mr. Rowanism's clutch factor has just proven time and time again that it's enough to see him through as any hectic match. But Lollare, sticking to his guns, had a great start with Ruby Yang. Let's keep it on with that.
I'd love to see a couple of adjustments to keep Yang in the match a little bit longer, just because she went out so early, and that seems to be following trend here as well. 1 bar on Rowanism's side. Yang does get the option to go into Semblance. There was a lot of blocking there. Unfortunately, does get caught in that cross combo situation and is down. Mr. Rowanism put a big old stop sign on Lollare's pressure, and could this possibly be a perfect?
We're getting close. Gets the knockdown here. One more good setup can finish it off. Like the dive. Here comes the incoming pressure. Oh, what a tricky dash. Has the meter. This should be enough. And Mr. Rowanism is gonna get, without a drop.
I'm holding my breath.
That's gonna be the first perfect of the day. Mr. Rowanism up 2-0 in commanding fashion.
Oh boy, that's the kind of game we're playing right now. When somebody gets a commanding lead like that and you feel it, you know you're one step away from grand finals. You're ready. You are in the money. He felt it, and Rowanism just went, I'm gone. That's it.
He turned those blue flames you're talking about, he turned them white. He went even higher on the heat, and is just putting Lollare under pressure here. I think Lollare might have to reconsider their options but I also like them just taking a second here, reevaluating, because that was just very lopsided, and you kind of want to maybe freeze that a little bit, kill a little bit of Mr. Rowanism's momentum. Always important to take that in consideration.
Definitely. I mean, there's a significant mental game that we talk about during fighting games, where even things outside of the match, like taking the time to think, go grab a drink of water or whatever, puts your opponent in a slightly different mental position than they were in, than if you went straight into the match like they did in the previous 2 games.
That's true. So always got to take that into consideration, and don't just keep throwing yourself to the wolves, because you will get bit. I guess in this case, we've been talking about burners and ovens. Don't put yourself in the fire.
Yeah, please don't. It's not a good idea. So, Rowanism these hits, every hit that Mr. Rowanism gets is so significant and takes a ridiculous amount of damage. Yang does go into Semblance again, but similarly to last time with that uppercut, still took a bunch of damage on it. Ruby gets hit by an orb that was set up previously by Seth. Look at these orb setups. We got to see them in the replay reel before, but this is just gross.
Yeah, I love those mid-stream combos. Finds the big dive to get the grab. And it's going to take a lot of damage here as Lollare lost a lot of life on both characters. Yang is still alive. Yang is still in semblance. But Lollare is not being able to get anything started. But here we go. Finds an opportunity, but the drop. And now into the blender. Tries to uppercut. Makes it out. The Sunrise having a little recovery on it.
Yeah, Seth catches the Yang. Look at all of the orbs that are on screen. Goes ahead, supers, just cashes out, makes sure that Yang is dead. You don't want Yang regaining the health like Lollare did in that previous little bit. So now, solo Ruby. Possible? Yes. Probable?
I don't know what that sound is, but I like it. Okay, finds the jump seat, gets a hit. That's big damage. Has 8 bar. Please cash out. Gets a super at the last second. It's going to be good damage here. Not going to be enough to take out the set, but one more mix-up might be able to do it. But the run-up grab! Mr.
Just grab him!
Knew it. He was like, okay, you want to respect me? Fine. Come here into my loving arms. There's the reset with the 4P from Hilda, and that's going to do it. Oh my god, Mr. Rowanism, you are a lord!
The tear that this dude is on. I mean, and even then, Hilda was untouched. Hilda had a full blue bar, so even if Lollare had managed to take out the Seth, Ruby had a fraction of health, and Hilda was like, I am very healthy, please, come at me.
With that full life, that's half a perf. We call that a perf. That is right there, smack dab in the middle. Then Rowanism is crazy. He's crazy good. Like, that first game was just such a big back and forth, but then afterwards, Mr. Rowanism just said, you know what, this is my show. This is my year. I am unstoppable, and here's why. And you just see, after that one win, just set all of those pieces into motion.
Yeah, look at all of the dodging that Ruby had to do to get away from those orbs. There was that push block at the end of that match that you talked about. And here's that perfect, just, you don't get to touch my characters. Don't touch me. No, you die. And just all of these Seth supers, the Hilda assist into the Seth combo and supers were clutch for Mr. Rowanism.
Yeah, just again, great combos, situational awareness like off the charts, always going for great routing, taking down the characters as fast as possible, and just that run-up grab. That run-up grab there, recognizing that Lollare is just going to be like, what do I do here? How do I open him up? And then Lollare is like, you don't. The road is like, you don't. Come here, finds all that, and it's just a testament to how strong he's been playing these last few months.
So, Mr. Rowanism, our first grand finalist, going to have to face, oh boy, either Dyni, Retro, or Lollare. That is, oh gosh, that just sounds like something I don't want to do, but it's Mr. Rowanism's job and not mine, so.
I mean, he's tackled a lot of these players before, so I'd be feeling pretty good if I was in Mr. Rowanism's shoes. And I'd be also feeling pretty good if I was in Dyni Crippler's shoes myself, because he is going up in the run back against RetroMonkey Sage. We saw this match in the first round of upper bracket top 8, and now they're going to be facing again as Dyni Crippler has, had success over Cax, but then we saw RetroMonkey Sage take out, King Rasta, taking out one of the strongest players in EU, which is incredible. So I want to see if that momentum that they've had in their lower bracket run can put them over Dyni Crippler. And if the adjustments have been made to see. It's even a tie, half and half. How about that?
Yeah, that's crazy, because when we were on break, we were talking about how we weren't particularly impressed with RetroMonkey's first appearance on the stream. That Makoto Mika that they're bringing back out right now was not as impressive as I think it could have been, but as you just said, took out some monumental murderers in the losers bracket. They've been able to play their game really well. What have they learned, and how can they adjust in this run back against Dyni?
Like I said, shows what we know. Might not have been impressed, but hey, maybe this guy was just getting started, didn't have the gas in the tank, but it's going off, so kudos to you, RetroMonkey Sage. That's why you're on there, and we're out here in the peanut seats.
Heck yeah. They're good seats, though. So already I'm seeing some nice adjustments on RetroMonkey's side in the form of a lot of blocking. Before, RetroMonkey was just coming in swinging. And Dyni Crippler with this Yang Hakumen was able to take advantage of those wild swings. But these blocks and careful gameplay, this is a totally different RetroMonkey.
We'll see what happens as Dyni Crippler finally gets an out with the counter. And Yang going into semblance, but nice uppercut there. Corona upper and gets rid of the Yang. Okay, RetroMonkey stage. This is the power that they didn't get to showcase in the upper bracket, looks like.
Yeah, now Hakumen does have resonance, does have a chance, but what a beautiful sandwich situation. Just jumps over the super. I did feel like RetroMonkey was pretty consistent about jumping over those supers in the previous time we saw this, but look at the push blocking, look at the pressure from Makoto, putting out a decent amount of damage without having to spend any meter up until right there.
Nice stuff. RetroMonkey finishes the job with that super. And that was nice, like not spending their meter too much, beating out the push buffs like you mentioned, just always catching like the right reads on what Dyni Crippler was going to do defensively. So it's either punishing a whiff or just always finding a way back in, or even punishing the burst. RetroMonkey Sage played so fast, but was always on top of it, always aware, and that's an incredible combination, especially in a game like BBTAG.
Right, definitely. Quick decision make. I mean, tag is notoriously quick as far as fighting games go, and when you have the added factor of the assist character of, whoa, what a move from Yang. Come back to that thought later because Dyni Crippler said your game stops here, and look at the damage that he's getting to put out from the Yang and the high-low pressure with the Hakumen assist.
Oh, the trade! Dyni Crippler read that. Yeah, it was like the assists and the pressure there were Dyni Crippler, just really good decision making. Overall, is gonna punish this Mika and get a good fat chunk of damage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the previous game, Monkey had such careful and calculated gameplay, and it felt like that confidence had him coming and swinging a little bit in this one, and it's not working out for him. Down to just the Makoto, which we got to see some really cool setups for before, but unfortunately, Yang assist comes in, grabbed by Hakumen, and that round's over.
That was fast. That was just like super quick. You thought Makoto would have a chance, but that was a good assist call into that EX counter, right? So that's just overall Dyni Crippler making those proper adjustments, and now we just have this already 1-1, and it feels like it's not even been like 2 minutes.
I don't think it has, to be fair. I mean, tag, like I was saying, notoriously fast, and a lot of the mix-up potential comes in changing the tempo and pacing of the game, which is what RetroMonkey did at the beginning of the first match. I would love to see some more of that, especially because Dyni, like that right there, doing those uppercuts with Yang, wasn't getting punished in the second round, and now, at least with that, RetroMonkey was able to take half of Yang's health completely unrecoverable.
Yeah, that was super smart. Finally, like, calling out the DP plus assist, right? That was super smart there from RetroMonkey. But now here comes the semblance. Jump C, recognizing that Retro was blocking, and now here we go again. DP with assist.
Yeah, so unfortunately gets hit by the semblance Yang pretty early on. I'd love to see... I don't know what I'd love to see, but I just want to see Mika play like she did in the first round, and I don't think she's going to get that opportunity. No, not with 2 supers.
Say goodbye. Yeah, she lost all that life, getting hit by the super with the assist behind it, and that's Makoto gone. Oh my gosh, Dyni Crippler. Please give us a chance to commentate the match. Let us talk about stuff. I want a second to collect my thoughts, but you don't have there's no chance for either of us.
No, there's really not, and I mean, we just talked about how, you know, RetroMonkey took out murderers in the losers bracket. What is it about Dyni's team that is Retro's kryptonite?
I think a lot of it's big time. It's Hakumen. Hakumen and Yang stop people from mounting offense, right? Yang has 5B armor. That 5B just crushes through so many things. You have to be very selective of how you break it, and if your character doesn't have really good lows, she's just going to be able to swing through. But then the Hakumen has the counters. The counters are going to beat these like full screen options and give Hakumen free damage. So it's just a great team to burst through so many things. But wait a minute, reversal gets punished. RetroMonkey has a chance here. Let's go.
Yeah, I really like in this particular set, the way that RetroMonkey is using the assists to create both visual confusion and getting the advantage of these sandwich situations. Unfortunately, a little bit of a happy birthday there for Dyni. Fortunately for RetroMonkey, Mika drops out and is able to burst there to create a little bit more pressure. Catches Yang on a... I don't know what that move was going to be, but it wasn't. That's what's important.
Oh no!
Oh no!
5B into semblance. Great reversal there from Dyni, but that was like the scariest thing you could think. Or from RetroMonkey, that's the scariest thing you could see. Okay.
You know, this Mika, the difference I feel like in these matches has been the Mika, not the Makoto.
That's
when
true.
When Mika gets a chance to play, RetroMonkey is just able to have his way with the match. So let's see about this fabled Hakumen and hopefully see if we can get another 2-2. I don't want to hold my breath because I might die, but geez.
Please breathe, take a deep breath because we're going to the final game. Great combo from RetroMonkey, or Retro Squirrel in this case. Doing such a good job. That was so good. Finding that big hit on Hakumen during Resonance and just using the meter perfectly. Showcasing Makoto, getting to see what this character can do. The variety today has been so good so far, and both of these teams being really unique and clashing has just been fun. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, I do want to bring it back to the difference in the first and fourth matches and RetroMonkey winning really seemed to be the consistent Mika gameplay. So hopefully in this final match, Game 5, RetroMonkey is able to bring some of that back so we have an exciting last game. But if Dyni has anything to say about it, we're in for a world of hurt.
That's true. That big damage already came out from RetroMonkey, like you mentioned about the Mika. Mika assist, starting some stuff off, but life totals look pretty even here as Dyni has Retro in the corner, but nice Corona upper to get out.
Yeah, there's that really nice mix-up. Active switch into Mika is able to get some good damage off there. Semblance is going to kind of throw off the timing for RetroMonkey, though. But Mika's just dashing headlong, doing Mika things. Unfortunately, back in the corner.
Got hit, both characters losing so much life here. There's 2 bars. Gonna be able to go into the, big punch super. It's gonna be a lot of damage here. Mika's still gonna be alive, but barely, but gets hit by the overhead. It's all down to Makoto.
Yeah, no, we saw some really good Makoto gameplay. Nice blocking, able to take advantage of that. She's got the meter if she needs to use it, but she doesn't. And now it's down to solo Hakumen. Wow, she went in for a grab, but unfortunately didn't quite time it correctly.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool, seeing her spin around to beat the incoming attack. But Dyni Crippler finds the damage. Gonna go for super. That's gonna be enough! He does it! 8K seals it 3-2, eliminating RetroMonkey Sage.
If you're RetroMonkey, though, you definitely... I mean, I really hope RetroMonkey feels proud of themselves, because that match was much, much better than the first one. Like, dude, take that, because definitely gave Dyni a run for their money. So really well done. It's always nice to see in the run backs some growth, especially over such a short period of time. And I mean, it's only been an hour and a half since we saw them. Exactly.
And you just see some good adjustments. You got to see the characters do their thing. You see the potential of the squad that they have together. But, you know, Dyni Crippler just answering back, showing that he has the answers too. And despite it looking like a tough matchup, you know, RetroMonkey made it look a lot more feasible, which I'm really happy about, like you mentioned.
Yeah, getting to see some of these replays again. Just really seeing where RetroMonkey would shine and where Dyni Crippler was able to take control of the match with this incredibly unique Yang Hakumen team. They're just able to play so well and consistently.
Yeah, it works together really well, and you know, it's good against a lot of certain teams. But then you see like the Makoto and the Mika, the optimal Makoto play, seeing all the tricks come out, seeing the Squirrel Girl, you know, sneak around and put all this pressure here, but you know, Dyni clutching it out, getting these big hits and just capitalizing off it so well. You just always just a little bit more momentum.
This is really well done, really well done. So Dyni is gonna face Lollare, and if you're able to, you're hanging out in chat and you're like, I think I know who's gonna win. Spend some of your accumulated channel points that you get just by hanging out here, and help contribute to that poll. See who's gonna win. I'm not gonna lie, I've been spending my channel points because it's really fun. So just go ahead and do that. And so up next, we do have that loser's final match, Dyni versus Crippler. I'm sorry, Lollare versus Dyni Crippler. Whoa, boy.
No. Dyni facing himself in the true lower bracket finals. But on
That would be interesting.
Lollare, who has been doing super well, and we'll see how it goes up in this match against Dyni Crippler. Looks like Lollare is slight advantage here, according to y'all in the chat, using those channel points for making your predictions. So appreciate that insight into it. I think like Dyni Crippler having momentum from their last match is going to be beneficial here, but Lollare has been playing so well throughout this top 8. I can't really say who I think will take it. What about you?
Looking back through, now we do have Lollare's winning team of Adachi, Yumi. I think that's a good choice. It's been a strong choice for them throughout this tournament. Honestly, I think it's really going to come down to the momentum gained in this first match. Because if Lollare takes a good portion of momentum, it's going to be hard to stop them. I think if Dyni, especially if it comes down to 2 low health characters in clutch moments, they get that and win from it, I think Lollare is going to be on a significant back foot.
We'll find out. Already Lollare is at the front foot, finding a lot of damage, finding little gaps, taking advantage of it, and with this double super, doesn't opt to go for the Dutchy super, just rather just hit a jump C. Now we're trading. Okay, I like Lollare backing up, not wanting to play the gorilla game against Yang.
Nice tech on the grab there, because if Yang gets a grab, you're in a world of trouble. Manages with the resonance activation there to miss the quarter forward C from Yumi, so she doesn't get launched into an aerial raid. However, this really nice assist from the Yumi into this Adachi is wasting so much of that precious resonance meter that Yang got. Oh, you did.
Oh, yep, and even then going into the residence and having the semblance, right? Sorry, going into semblance. Thought I had opportunity, tried a 5B, but just took so much damage during that. I was Lollare ready. Lollare said, hey, cool, I have a team that can beat your team pretty handily, and it's showing right now as this Yumi Adachi is going on a tear.
Dyni just ready to go as well. Like, you say that they're ready to go. Lollare chooses to take their time. They can't switch teams because they did win that, but they can absolutely take their time beforehand. Only if you are unfamiliar with the general rules of this, you are not allowed to switch your team if you are on the winning side. That's
true. You have to hold that team until you take a loss, if you take a loss. So I don't feel like Lollare is going to switch off of this because this is just, tried and it's very tested, strong team, especially against what Dyni Crippler brings up. But if Dyni Crippler can get some momentum going, he can get some damage in and start their game, but it's just so hard to break through the neutral of Yumi and Adachi.
It is. They're able to do so much up close, and we talked a lot about the Yumi, what can the Yumi do, but look at what the Adachi can do. A lot of the times Adachi on these kinds of teams are used primarily as an assist, because the Zio is such a fantastic tool. But the damage that Adachi did on their own for the Yang was pretty significant. Dyni finally getting a foothold into this game and does some work on the Adachi.
Yeah, I mean, Adachi with a strong assist, right, can cover some of his deficiencies in neutral. I mean, Zios are always super strong, but his normals might not be the best aside from jumping. But then Yumi's the full package. Look at her go.
Yeah, definitely. I like the way that Lollare has been varying how many revolutions of Yin and Yang that he puts into before aerial rave based on when Dyni has the assist ready to go. And I think that's very smart.
Yeah. Overall, just, intelligent play throughout all things and decisions really nice there. So I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah. See, that was a quick one just to get a little bit more damage out, knock it into the corner. God, just jump over the Hakumen and you're safe.
That's the thing, right? that counter super is good if it actually counters a normal. Because it was the Persona shooting the beam out, Adachi's like, bye. I'm gonna hop out, avoid the unblockable, and you just lost 2 bar and put yourself in the corner behind me. So just Lollare, every little thing working out, every little decision, full screen or up close.
Right, and that is another thing that you have to be aware of when fighting against a character from the Persona cast, is that, you know, you hit a Persona, you may or may not, depending on the size of the move, have hit the actual character. You need to be aware of where you hit, how you hit, and how it interacts with your own character, because things like what we just saw happened. Yeah, he did the reversal super, but Adachi was able to just have free reign at the end of that, because there's a huge gap at the end of that super where Hakumen can't do anything.
And sit there to hold it and then just get a free mix-up on Lollare's side. So now we're going into game 3. Lollare looking strong here as he has a 2-0 victory. And now Dyni already lost a lot of life, but so did Adachi. But it looks like Dyni's going to continue losing that. Opportunity here. Didn't opt to try to reversal. That was only a 2A, so I respect him not like overextending.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, Lollare's in a good position, doesn't have to do anything particularly insane. And there, I like that they waited to the end of the Yang to get done hitting Adachi. Unfortunately, Yang was already back in block, does lose the Yumi. All of those Hakumen DPs trying to get a good parry grab in, but got him right in between the Adachi landing. And now, this is pretty uphill for Dyni. Yes, Adachi can do it, but again, insert squeaky noise, a little tricky.
Very tricky. But found a command grab, got some damage there, but the counter hit from Dyni Crippler is going to put him on the board. Nice stuff. Lollare got stopped in his tracks from making any kind of solo character comeback.
Right, now, I do feel like with the position that Lollare is in, they can keep these two characters going. I don't think that he's been at a significant disadvantage where character switching is going to create an advantage, unless he thinks that the mental mind game that he would get from switching characters would be advantageous at this point.
Yeah, it's tough, right, to see what you would do there, because I mean you still have 2 big wins that you have on there, and I don't know if you'd want to switch off the strength of this team that is exceptional at fighting, you know, this Yang Hakumen. So overall, I mean, it's just a safe bet. I mean, there's a lot of teams that I wouldn't want to bring in Yumi Adachi into, so I like this decision to put it.
Right, and I think the big difference in that previous game is that Dyni was able to set the pace to theirs. Oh my gosh, what a happy birthday to start this. Oh dear. Gets the Yang super, gets a little bit more damage out of it because they called the Hakumen, but that, I mean, geez, look at that damage. And unfortunately, because of the Hakumen assist there, even though the Yang uppercut whiffed, the Adachi couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's rough. I like that, you know, Dyni Crippler always uses that as an option. And just like that again, and that was enough to kill because of all the untechable off the uppercut. And look at this, is this enough damage? It should be. To take out Yumi and Dyni with a big win, burning gold. Oh my gosh, it's 2-2 already. Lollare, who was looking so strong, taking those first games 2-0, and Dyni Crippler just answers back super fast. Wow.
My face, it's just like...
How do you react to that? Like, what just happened? It's going too quick to, like, properly, like, process how my emotions are supposed to be right here. I am just, like, stuck in a state of just, like, shock this entire time.
Well, and what we've seen here is the 4th game for Dyni was, like, the first for Lollare. And, I mean, there's just no time to process, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Game 5, losers finals. Winner of this goes to fight... Oh, God, in grand finals. This is crazy.
Super duper. Lollare, first big significant hit. Gonna go to the corner with that aerial rave, all the way with the EX. And now, Hakumen under pressure. Quick low. Can't burst here because Adachi's gonna come through with the punish. Now Yang's taking punishment.
Yeah, nice mix-up with the Adachi into the aerial rave, getting lots of assists from the Adachi to keep Yang just in the air constantly. She's a little bouncy ball. And then gets hit with the overhead from Adachi. Double super. She's dead.
That's gone. Ab Smasher into the spin, and now a solo Hakumen. Only level 2 resonance as well, so he doesn't have a lot of resources here to try to mount this comeback, but never count the Dyni Crippler out.
No, definitely not. This Hakumen has paid dividends in previous matches, but I'm concerned. I'm really worried because this Yumi Adachi has taken the momentum and run. Look at the meter. This is so much.
Blap. That's it. Small confirm, and Lollare seals it 3-2, stopping Dyni Crippler from mounting a comeback. The reverse 3-0. That was just exceptional, usage of Yumi Adachi at the end there to stay alive. So good stuff to Lollare, who advances to take on in Grand Finals Mr. Rowanism. But Dyni Crippler with a third place, taking $200. So at the very least, compensated for their hard work.
Yeah, so let's take a closer look at this before we move on to our Grand Finals and just highlight some of the things that we were able to talk about now that we get a second look at what was going on. So in this first one was Lollare just honestly stomping all over Dyni Crippler. But here in the second match was where the momentum started to shift a little bit. Just a little.
All it takes is a little bit. You give an inch and people will take a mile. That's what Dyni Crippler did once he made those proper adjustments. But, still Lollare with those commanding victories in the first 2 games. Just, looking sharp, and hopefully he can bring this energy into the Grand Finals.
Yeah, I really hope so, because looking back at the data and everything, in the winners finals, Lollare went down 3-0 using the same team. So the advantage of coming from this loser's bracket side is that you have been playing the last match. You're warm, you're ready to go. Mentally, you have momentum on your side because you just took a really good set, honestly. Especially after that crazy cross finish in the 4th game. To going into this 5th game, you get some really nice, crisp gameplay. Coming into this, you're sitting in a good position. However, Mr. Rowanism is going on a tear, and you have to fight into that.
And being, the Grand Finals, Mr. Rowanism is on the upper bracket side. Lollare has to win 2 sets to take this. This is going down to the wire here and there, so I'm really interested to see how this plays out as, can Lollare force the reset into the finale here, or Mr. Rowanism is going to take that first set and be crowned your champion?
Yeah, I think regardless, it's going to be really fantastic gameplay. And oh man, so let's take a look at this. So this is Mr. Rowanism versus Lollare, and we've got 66 wins versus 23, 9 versus 14, an 88% win rate versus a 62%, 75 matches played versus 37. That's just crazy.
Experiences on Rowanism's side. The grind is real. And that's a testament to how strong they've been. They've just been going off and off every past couple of months. They might not even been the first seed this month. They might not even have won the most weekly events, but Mr. Rowanism just showing that strength comes from playing the game consistently and just being an amazing player. So I'm excited to see, that continue on. But Lollare's been playing so good today, and I would love to see if they can crack first place. I won't even be mad. Either one of these players is going to be super good. In chat, vote for who you think will take this. Get your predictions in. Let us know what you think. Can Mr. Rowanism, get a triple crown 3 months in a row, or will Lollare finally put a stop to that and cut all the momentum Mr. Rowanism has? Because it's up for debate, but I mean, Mr. Rowanism is the champ for a reason.
Definitely. I mean, I think out of what we've seen today and the incredible run back that we've seen from Lollare, I think there's a good chance that we could have a bracket reset. But, with the... Ooh, look at that poll. That's actually really a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. 52%. But that means 48% of you thought it was going to go the other way. This is very close.
They believe in Lollare. They have their faith in the Yang, or they have their faith in the Lollare, and I don't blame them. I hope to see a long and good back and forth in this set. So I want this to go the distance, but I know Mr. Rowanism might be trying to end this as fast as possible like they did before. So it's just like a lot of things on their side. I mean, Lollare has different teams he can bring in. I don't know if they're going to go with what they did in the upper bracket finals in this, or if they're going to try to opt towards possibly, switching it up some and catch Mr. Rowanism off guard. But we definitely know Seth and Hilda are going to be on Mr. Rowanism's side.
Right. I was actually going to ask if Mr. Rowanism played anybody else or has played anybody else. And to their credit, it's been going fine. I don't think there's been a set that we've seen Mr. Rowanism in where it wasn't like, oh, maybe they should consider a character switch. No, they're fine. Lollare has stuck with the Yumi Adachi since the third match of the first time we saw them on stream. It's going really well for them. I feel like it would almost be like a mental mix-up to themselves if they went into this first one with a character switch.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them. They have the capacity to do that, but at the same time, you never know. There's a lot to think about, and what do you bring into this match? Because every game you give up is just one step closer to the person to take it, right? It's just how much can you give, and how much of a risk are you willing to take,
Yeah, and also thinking back too, because this is the run back from before. What has Lollare learned about Mr. Rowanism's gameplay, and what does he think? Because, like we mentioned, went down 3-0. What did he learn from that? What does he think he can bring now, fresh as far as gameplay, character changes, things like that? Because I feel like you're right. You do highlight a good point. If you are going to change characters, do it first.
All right. Looks like we're not going to see any changes. We are going with sticking to our guns on each side. Mr. Rowanism, upper bracket side. Seth, Hilda, not surprised. Lollare, Yumi, Adachi. It's gotten them this far, but can it get him past the master, the champ? Let's go grand finals.
Oh boy, here we go. This is already a lot. Look at those quarter forward seats coming from Yumi, the icicles catching Hilda. Jeez, if Mr. Ronin's not careful, he's gonna lose Hilda right off the bat, a couple seconds into the game. Good switch out, was actually safe to use it with Seth there, but the pressure from Lollare grab into the corner. Oh my goodness. DP now. Hilda doing a lot of damage here. So actually Lollare makes a really good decision to switch the Adachi in and is now against the Seth. Good blocking, able to miss a lot of that ball setup there. Gotta remember that that's on the back there. Oh, Seth hits. Oh gosh. And now Yumi is in the air and Seth. Okay, cross combo, what do we got? Zio, Yumi goes forward, Seth in the corner, but just blocking. What good blocks from Mr. Rowanism.
That defense is a staple, right? That's what keeps people alive here. Help bring it back is nice switch out to the Seth. They need a lot of meter from this. And now Lollare's Adachi gets hit. No way to get out of here.
Where did Lollare take all of the damage? I feel like he just lost a ton of health.
It's those quick hits. Seth finds those quick hits, nice combos, and, takes it down a notch, but Mr. Rowanism with a slight life lead. So can he seal the deal here?
Oh, active switches to Yumi. Unfortunately, Adachi still got hit, but at least was safer. DPs, and Yumi goes down. Solo Adachi doesn't choose the resonance yet. Okay, there, he uses it. That was, I was scared.
Oh, and the cross combo! That right there from Seth, just dashing right through. You don't even get a chance to even walk forward. Even in resonance, that's unfortunate for Lollare, who's just like, when can I press? When does this stop? And it just never did. Mr. Rowanism already with one game.
No, I mean, when Seth came through, I was like, who blocked that? Nobody blocked that. That was ridiculous. It was so fast. And just, I certainly didn't expect Adachi to die. I mean, I think my jaw hit the floor. It was crazy.
No, that's how quick this game is, right? You said it yourself. It's just like anything can just lead to so much, and you blink, and a character's life just evaporates before your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that happened. I was just like, where did Lollare's life bar go? I didn't see it, but these little nicks and cuts that Mr. Rowanism team puts in, it adds up to something significant. Lollare is managing to get a nice chunk of damage onto the Hilda. Cross combo Yumi on the other side, but Hilda's just trying to bounce out of it. Catches with the quarter forward C. Back in the corner, Lollare has the meter to finish if he needs it, but he didn't need it.
Not at all. Oh, but the super on incoming. Cut that out. Stop the momentum. Slices Yumi up, and now here we go. Can Rowanism bring this back with just solo set? Okay, there's some bar up from Lollare. Nice block on Mr. Rowanism on the EX. Now it's going to pop resonance now. Level 1. Not going to get a lot from here. Just going to get a little bit of meters. That's really it.
Yeah, definitely not going to get a ton. Just DP in his face. That's fantastic.
I mean, he did a super in his face, so that's a good answer. It's like, stop that. Please, calm down, friend. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. There's a punish.
Try to do that again, and it wasn't really the smartest choice there, so Yumi lived. Gonna cross combo and then active switch to a Dutchy just to keep the Yumi safe? Maybe? Yes.
You know what happens when Yumi lives. You know what happens when you leave Lollare's Yumi alive, but Mr. Rowanism's set, showing that capable of being the same thing. Go right the super. Oh my gosh. Can he do this? He has way more health than both characters. Can he find one hit on a Dutchy and then finish the Yumi off?
Oh wow, really nice blocking. This is a stressful situation for Lollare, but with Seth taking all this damage, it might even it out a little bit.
Gonna do double super, yeah, it's gonna be alive. Seth's still gonna be alive on pixels. Blocks the low, blocks the 6P, blocks the jump C. It's still Lollare's turn, but Mr. Rowanism with a big defense. Not dead yet.
Oh, wow. Oh, just tries to straight 5C in the middle. Unfortunately didn't get it. Oh no!
Oh, the trade Adachi dies, but the launch worked out, and Mr. Rowanism gives it up as Lollare takes game 2. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was insane. There was a lot of back and forth there, a lot of very close gameplay, a lot of, just, phew. There's a lot going on there. But really, the back and forth gameplay was what set that one apart from the first game for me, especially because Mr. Rowanism did that primarily with a solo set, as the Hilda got, murdered brutally in the first 2 seconds of the game.
Poof, just like that. She didn't even exist. It was all the Seth show. But a one-man show sometimes just isn't enough.
So going into this game 3, we're at 1-1, and I feel like Lollare is feeling himself a little bit there. Just walk up, grab. Oh boy.
Oh, and even gets the big damage off of that. That's huge. Hilda again. Oh, and perfectly times the grab between it. It's gonna get not quite enough for the kill there, and the burst gets punished, but at least Hilda's still alive.
Yeah, I feel like Lollare has identified in that time where he was able to just focus that Hilda's a huge issue, and if you take her out early, you're in a much better place. I really like the way Lollare is using the Zeo to either go in with just a plain jump C, and then using the rest of the time for a quarter forward C with Yumi just for the mix-up potential.
Overall, just good decision making and showing, but then wow, Seth gets tagged in between there. It's Hilda by herself, but okay, wait a minute. Finds some damage. It's gonna go into super, into resonance, just to build up the bar. What a mix-up! Are you kidding? The
just
run
walk under. That was amazing. Such good decision making from Mr. Rowanism.
But now the hard part is, he has only level 1 resonance. Only building up a little bit of life and only getting a little bit of meter back, so it's still uphill battle for Rowanism.
It absolutely is. And Adachi with the overhead. Really well played. Lollare up 2.
2-1, yeah. Nice comeback so far. Manages to get the early, lead with not just the life, but taking out a character. So now Lollare is just pushing Mr. Rowanism's buttons and on the verge of creating a reset. Mr. Rowanism might get dragged down a lower bracket if he's not careful, but definitely has the ability to stop it. But can he though?
Get ready.
That's a really good question. And at this point, Lollare's in such a great position, and that does factor into your gameplay. you are one game away from resetting the bracket and sending Mr. Rowanism to the lower bracket. That's spectacular.
Okay, first hit though, Mr. Rowanism saying not yet. Don't get hyped just yet, commentators. Still got
Sorry.
a lot of juice.
Hey, I'm hype. Well, speaking of hype, look at this. I gotta highlight the blocking there from, what really? Hold up.
What a punish!
Oh.
The ice doesn't even reach anywhere as Holdos just puts out her super that hits anywhere. Nice 5C. Mr. Rowanism with the answers.
Mr. Rowanism, I don't want this bracket to reset. Yeah, so switches to a Dutchy so that Yumi can gain back a little bit of recoverable health that she does have. But this Adachi is actually kind of on a rampage right now, and Hilda doesn't seem to have the answer, but maybe Seth does?
We'll see. Yeah, it was one big whip that let Lollare find a lot of this damage, and now has the corner here. Command grab into Yumi. Could be a lot of damage off the Rekkas into Aerial Rave. Gonna cash out some bar. Just a drop. Okay, Seth's still alive. EX low. Fights it out. Yumi gone. I love that patience there for Mr. Rowanism.
Makes a big difference, and
Adder Smasher! That was good, but wasn't a resonance, so it wasn't a lot more damage. Still a little light, but fully invincible.
why does that hurt so much? That's ridiculous. Now it's just down to Seth, who does activate the resonance right there. Lollare almost out of their own resonance, and oh my gosh!
Command grab whiff, nice up back. Put the regular grab. This is huge. Has the meter, should be enough. Just a simple combo into cross slash. Should do it here. There we go. We have a reset. Lollare with the 3-1 in the first set takes Mr. Rowanism out of the upper bracket into the lower bracket. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy, I thought that Mr. Rowanism was putting a stop on that, wasn't gonna let it happen. But Lollare said, "You can't stop my train," and has reset the bracket. So we are now back at 0-0. Bracket reset. Everybody's been sent to the lower bracket now. Oh boy, here we go.
It's a fresh set going into this. We're gonna stick to the same teams. Yes, right. Mr. Rowanism not skipping a beat. And this Adachi Yumi, even if, Lollare could switch, which he could have, not gonna do it. There's no reason to swap out with how much work he is doing right now with this squad. One more 3 out of 5 to decide your March EU champ here at the PlayStation 4 Open Series Monthly Finals. Mr. Rowanism and Lollare. Can Lollare get a month win on the board and take down last month's champ? Oh my gosh, we are getting close to it.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, it just really feels like Lollare's feeling it right now. Comes in again with that similar Zio setup. Overhead from Yumi, blocked, goes ahead and does the quarter forward C. It's just been paying dividends for Lollare. Sends Seth into an aerial rave into the quarter, calls Adachi. I like kind of the offset call from Adachi, just threw off the timing a little bit.
Are you kidding? The push block against Yumi didn't matter because Yumi's EX was still there. Adachi had to set up for command grab, taking out Seth. What an amazing sequence from Lollare. That was just so over the top. It was just intense pressure into an unblockable grab, and then the combo with the Yumi 6P, Lollare is going crazy.
Oh yeah, they can taste victory, and it tastes really good. They're just, I don't think of the matches we've seen Mr. Rowanism play, we've ever seen them at this kind of a deficit.
They're being pushed to the brink. Lollare is playing on another level here. Things are just working out. Lollare and Rowanism's defense is just not being able to hold up. So, Lollare's got a chance. Already up a game. Just needs to, get 2 more to be the new champ.
Yeah, and just so much going on. But briefly before we get into this, what adjustment does Mr. Rowanism need to make to come back in this?
Has to watch the bursts. Can't give up free damage to Lollare, who's taking advantage of it and calling them out and getting a lot of it. Because remember, Seth doesn't have a lot of life. Just has to really avoid throwing stuff away with a burst that's going to get full punished.
Yeah. Okay. So now this Adachi, I feel like Adachi has been a thorn in Seth's side. It doesn't seem to be as much with Yumi, I say, getting aerial raved, but the Adachi is what's opening up those aerial raves for Yumi.
It's a start. There's that burst I was talking to you about. Lollare read it out and got the punish, and this should be enough to get rid of Hilda. It's going to be down to Seth with basically less than a quarter life.
Gosh, this is very, very different, and not even a chance. Just the high-low A's from Yumi. You're done. Lollare's up 2 on tournament point.
Right on the cusp of victory. That was insane. Like, everything was just working out so well. The defensive reads on how Mr. Rowanism wants to get out. Like, beating out the push block with that Yumi EX, the EX Ice, just every little decision working out so well. Mr. Rowanism just cannot take a turn. Is not getting a chance to breathe whatsoever. And his last breath, gasping for a chance to run this back. But Lollare, I don't know if anyone can stop him right now.
I don't know. Let's see. Potential last game. But a nice opener from Mr. Rowanism catches both of Lollare's characters and throwing in a bunch of damage there. So already a little bit different from the previous match. These Hilda assists coming in clutch for him.
Yeah, that 4P from Hilda, the stop sign for a reason. Even though Adachi got a reversal, the 4P still hit Adachi and Seth was still able to get a combo. How crazy is that?
Kind of insane, actually. But this life lead that Mr. Rowanism has is very, very significant. And I feel like Lollare is fighting with every inch of his being just to get something going. Catches Hilda's toes. Uses the Yumi assist, launches Hilda into the corner. And now what can Adachi do with this?
Nice run up. This is a command grab, but nice swap. But still goes out. There's so much recovery. EX. Corner to corner. Big drop, not dead yet.
Yeah, couldn't close it out with a super because they're not in resonance. Oh, Yumi's caught by an orb. She jumps out. Resonance activation.
Still in there, but yeah, that EX slash EX slash with assist behind. Is it going to swap or not? That's the hard part. Is Seth going to active switch and turn it into a left-right mix-up? That, to me, is so scary because that mix-up there is so fast. Potential cross-up that you just... Lollare was just guessing on the block and felt like it was going to be an active switch. But it wasn't. It was just like the no mix-up, mix-up.
Yep. Sometimes that happens. It's the I thought you thought that I thought, and then you thought wrong.
Yep.
Oof.
You think you're one step ahead, but all it is you just sign yourself all the way in the back. Oh boy. We have a match. We have a match. Let's go.
We do. Getting into a 4th game of the Grand Finals reset. Lollare taking a ton of damage. Those little tiny cuts from Seth hurt a whole lot.
Yeah. 1,000 cuts gonna add up, and there's that mix up again. Yumi gets out of it though, and now the Adachi coming in, who's taking a lot of damage. This is looking a little dicey. Has no way of getting out either.
Oh, God, these Hilda assists are totally different than they were in the first set and in the first 2 games. Lollare down to just Yumi. Can Yumi make a comeback? Absolutely, but not if Mr. Rowanism doesn't give you the chance to breathe a single time.
I mean, he's taking so much damage, but this super is going to be another perfect. Mr. Rowanism with his 2nd perfect of the day. And now tying it up 2-2 in spectacular fashion, counting him out. What were we even thinking? What was I even thinking? You didn't count him out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is all Lollare.
I mean, I was with you there. It was all Lollare. I mean, in his defense, it was all Lollare. And then Mr. Rowanism was like, I have found my calm. My game. So, let's get into this Game 5, last game of the PS4 Open Tournament March Finals. Let's go!
Rowanism or Lollare. Only one of these players can be the champ. Only one of these players are going to take most of the prize pot and will hold their, that prize and title high. Lollare, I was about to say he wasn't getting opened up at the beginning, but got a burst out and now on the back foot as here comes Rowanism.
Oh boy, and then just really that stop sign assist from Hilda is doing works. It wasn't using it as much in the previous games, but you can see once he found success with it, he just kept using it. Active switches into Hilda. Adachi now taking all of this corner damage. Techs the grab really nice. There was a lot going on, so it's a little harder to see.
And got big damage off that. That was a great tech into their sequence with the Yumi assist. Finds the grab, right? The super. Oh my gosh. Is this... Okay, not gonna be enough to kill Seth. It's gonna be close, though. It's gonna be real close, though. Okay. Forces to burst out. There's the block. She's getting punished. Lollare's bringing this back.
Oh, I hate that Lollare had that and then kind of dropped it. Able to pick it up, though. If Lollare is able to put a significant chunk here on Hilda, it could be a totally different game. What's the follow-up? The launcher from the Yumi assist. Oh, dropped
She takes
it.
out the jump C. Oh my gosh. The low from Seth. Yumi's gonna go away. This should be enough to get rid of this character. And now it's gonna be all down to Adachi. Oh my gosh.
I was waiting to see if that killed. It did. Okay, now it's just down to Adachi.
Adachi with a lot of life. It's gonna pop resonance. There's the mix-up, but jumps out! Jumps out!
Yeah, level 4 resonance too. This could actually be a problem. Oh, just trying to get any hit that he can.
Get snuck! Anti-air. That's big damage. A little bit of meter on Mr. Rowanism's side. He's gonna go for the setup here. Back tech. Gets out of there. In the sandwich still.
Oh, gosh. Look how much they're just empty jumping constantly. Oh, God, that could have been huge.
That's it! Oh! Rowanism does it again! After losing 2 straight in the grand final. Oh my gosh, he takes it 3-2 over Lollare and is your March champion. He did it again.
He did it in February. He did it in March. Who is going to put a stop to Mr. Rowanism's ridiculous gameplay?
I don't know. They've thrown everybody at Mr. Rowanism. He's fought previous champs. He's fought, the person who put him. He fought in grand finals last month. He fought a Lollare who was basically almost untouchable. But Mr. Rowanism just showing that he is on that other level, and that clutch factor is just through the roof.
It was. Taking a look back here at the first couple of games, just look at the back and forth. It was always, this is the one where Lollare just was dominant. Look at that Adachi gameplay, so great. But really, Lollare put up a fantastic run. Was able to reset the bracket. Everybody went to the lower bracket today, so we got the most number of grand finals games that was physically possible, and you honestly can't ask for more than that.
No, for sure. Just seeing both these teams play to their fullest and everything goes so down to the wire, even especially like that last match. But the reset was nice on the Lollare's side. But I like Mr. Rowanism sticking to his guns, braving through it, even going down 2-0. Lollare getting a huge lead. But Mr. Rowanism was just like, I can still do this. I still have a game, I still have a chance.
And that's, I think, a great thing about playing one team is everything, the ins and outs that your team can do, and how you can make adjustments like with those Hilda assists to take back your turn.
Yep, and just put a stop to someone's momentum just like that. And there we see the final bracket. Your March champion, Mr. Rowanism, second place going to Lollare. Third place, Dyni Crippler, and fourth place, RetroMonkey Sage. Those are your top 4 this month, and they played out of their mind here in the EU side.
Right, so here is the schedule for the following month. We've got our Mortal Kombat, the April series tournaments, the 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, and then the finals will be the 29th. For Under Night in Birth, we have the April monthly finals, May 3rd, 9 a.m. PT. Soul Calibur, March 31st, and today we've got BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle.
Yep, the NA side will be at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so there's still a lot more action here in the PlayStation Open Series. So even though we're wrapping up the EU side, it's been just an amazing show, and it's been a lot of fun just going through it all. So again, y'all just check out compete.playstation.com because I know y'all want to be part of this. Just FYI, never forget to hop on that and to join into these events. Try to qualify because this action's amazing, and you know you want to be a part of it. You know you want a chance to win this prizes, and you know you want to go up against the best.
Yep, it's so yeah, just sign up and have fun because I know we do, getting to see everything and all the hard work that you guys put into this during the monthly finals. And if you want to challenge our previous winners, come on, sign up. That's your chance.
All right. And you'll have more chance for some more action today because, again, like we mentioned, we still have the North American top 8 for the BBTAG monthly finals here at the PlayStation Open Series. So go enjoy yourself a nice snack, get a little bit of break because the rest of this action is going to be crazy, crazy. But for now, we will see you later. Y'all take care.